Hertz to 20 kilohertz and 2 kilohertz per second.
Hello, Peter. What's happening? We have sort of a problem here.
You know that shit you guys do? You're fucking yourselves up, man. Fucking acid. Acid. It never leaves your body. It's in your fucking spinal cord forever.
You're standing right now with 9 delegates from 100 gangs. And there's over 100 more. That's 20,000 hardcore members. 40,000 counting affiliates. And 20,000 more not organized, but ready to fight. 60,000 soldiers. Now, there ain't but 20,000 police in the whole town. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig
it? Here we go. AK-47, the very best there is. When you absolutely, positively got to kill every motherfucker in the room, except no substitutes.
Mr. Weiss, I have never told anyone what I'm about to tell you, but I really want this job. I like to dress in women's clothing.
Oh, yeah, buddies. It's the Ron and Fez show, and we are live. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Fez Watley.
Hiya, buddies.
Earl Douglas. Pitsy. And then finally, Eastside Dave. Hey, everybody. How's your day been? You know, I just, sometimes life is so boring that there's just nothing to do, nothing to talk about. And then you say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to go in and do the radio show today. How's everything with you, Fezzy? A little hot for you?
Very hot.
Yeah.
Man, I am sweating through everything.
You are a man I like because you're always willing to complain about whatever season that we happen to be in. But I understand that we are 5 years away from the end of the world.
Yeah, that's a new report from the WWF.
Well, what do they know? Who came up with this? Stone Cold Steve Austin or Undertaker? Within the next 5 years.
That's WWE now.
All right, what exactly did they say? What did the WWF say?
They said that we have 5 years.
What?
To make some changes.
What?
Or else we are facing a climate catastrophe here.
What? We got 5 years, Earl. I wish you were the producer. You'd be grabbing the 5 year song and you'd be playing it, and it would sound like a produced show all the way through. So what do we what is going to happen if we don't do these things?
Then everything melts and we have the global flooding and everything's a disaster. We have climate change.
We've got 5 short years. Now, we joked about the WWF, but they are the ones who made the WWF change their name. This is a really big major organization.
Yeah, they used to be the World Wildlife Fund, which I thought was WWLF, but they took WWF away from the real WWF. Now they're WWF Worldwide Fund for Nature.
Which should be N. Yeah, they don't need that WWF name. So do they have the scientists, or they're just going by this because they happen to love cats?
I think it's a lot of cat love there, but they claim they have scientists backing this up.
Hi, little Frenchie.
So 5 years before the water starts coming through our windows.
Frenchie's got a beautiful daughter. I like to see you get a daughter, Fez. Instead, you got 2 stints. So 5 years. That's all we've got.
I thought we would have had a little bit more time. I thought this was one of those problems where I could just say, next generation, handle it.
That would be the great way if you were running for president and just use it under the thing, let's make it our kids' problems.
We won't have to worry about this in our lifetime. But apparently this is going to happen.
You believe it at all?
I think 5 years is a little quick to be coming up for, to lose Florida and Manhattan and the country of England.
3 places I could personally do without right now. That's 3 places that don't bother me. Now, something happens to Twin Oaks, Pennsylvania, I'm a little nervous. Because remember, that's where Locust Hill School is. Dominic seems to know a little bit about this. How you doing, Dom? You're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez. It's odd. In 5 years, so did the Mayans said that the end of the world would be in 2012.
Yeah, but the Mayans didn't even make it that long. What do they know?
True, but that's what the History Channel was saying the other day.
You know, then it's got to be true if it was on cable. If I was a Mayan, I would constantly do the joke of that's Mayan. No matter what happened. Put that down, that's Mayan. I wish I worked in a museum. I would have so much material right now. Here's Mark. Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Hey, didn't a couple weeks ago when you were all predicting the end of the world, didn't Eastside Dave predict the year 2012?
He predicted that as the end of his skin. I don't know, the global warming thing, I'm using him as a thermometer. And he gets red first. Where are you right now with the skin stuff? It's burning off, right?
Yeah, my skin is officially coming off me.
Yeah.
It's zombie time, Mr. B. As you can see, my whole forehead's peeling like a snake. I feel great about myself.
Oh, have you ever walked through the woods and found a big snake skin?
Oh, I hate that.
I love it because they come out they shed all in one piece. It's everything I tried to do when I would glue my hand and then pull it off. Snakes are able to do that right away. And I would collect them. Look what I found, Mom, snake skin. So this global warming thing, extra terrible for you, Dave.
Yeah, it's going to be the end of me
Yeah.
because I get sunburn when it's 70 degrees out in the shade.
Yeah, when you weren't here, me and Dave walked off to the diner and came back. So what is that? Half a block each way?
Yeah.
The following day, he is just bubbling like pizza that's been in the oven too long. And I go, what happened? He goes, we got in the sun yesterday. I go, maybe for 4 minutes each way. Tops.
Absolutely.
And your forehead gets completely burnt?
Yeah, absolutely. And look at my forehead now. I got out of the shower today. I went to just pick a little piece off it.
Yeah.
12 inches of my forehead skin came off. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And I just put it on the counter and looked at it.
Have it always been like that since you were a little kid, Snakey?
Yeah.
You gotta pace down every day, right?
Yeah. I have to put on like Copper Tone 45 every single day, and then that greases up my skin and makes it really reddish. So either way, I'm brother love over here. Thanks.
And all we did was go into the 70s. For temperature.
I know.
Swear to God.
What happens in July and August?
Oh my guys, that's when he dies.
Oh, bye.
Here is Bill. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
2975, my brother.
Yeah, brother, man.
Hoo-ah!
Fezzy, welcome back, bud. Good to hear you. Sound great.
Thanks, Bill.
The WWF, what are they now reading the Mayan calendar?
That's what we're going by. And by the way, that calendar you have, Fez, that's Mayan. I really hope
Good one.
that joke catches on. I wish I were. I want it one day in a museum. Now, doesn't your chick want to work in a museum?
No, Ron, that was the old chick. Thank you.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
She wasn't E.T.
Yeah.
I can understand that little ouch thing.
Have you talked to her lately?
My old chick?
Yeah.
My ex? No. No, we're not going to be talking.
You want me to call her?
I'd prefer
I'd love
not
to.
Yeah. No. That wouldn't be
Now, today I turned on the Pal Talk, and Dave's chick's on there, and just looks gorgeous. And I said, Dave, come on over here. Look how beautiful your girl is, because she really does. She just looks stunning on camera. And he goes, and Mr. B, that's without a shower. She did not shower today.
Oh.
I immediately clicked her off. I go, I cannot sit there and look at this.
Why would you say something so sick like
No,
that?
I mean, she doesn't need it. She's my.
We all need it.
My point is,
we all do.
she's so beautiful.
Right.
Water,
Why be clean?
soap.
I know.
Doesn't affect her.
That's not a good thing.
It took away everything from Ronnie's compliment.
Houston, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Fez, he's back and you're gonna be in trouble.
Good song.
Yeah, baby. Hey, listen, screw those pandas, okay? I'd put Stone Cold over any animal any day.
Well, you do have to look at it, Fez. We are at the top of the food chain. Or at least we believed we were. I don't know anymore. I've always had a theory that the white mice are doing experiments on us. And then what happened when I went down to the beach and I found that all the dolphins were gone? I found a little note. So long. Thanks for all the fish. So I don't know where they went.
We've been used.
I don't know what happened. Here's Dave. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, didn't they say back in the 70s that we were going to lose all the oil and that Y2K was going to send us back into the Stone Age? I think they're just overreacting. And
They do have a tendency. They do have a tendency to overreact. But at the same time, I don't want to feel like I'm on Krypton. I want to... if it was up to me, I would have a little spaceship ready to send Earl to a far-off planet.
Well, eventually, we should be seriously contemplating doming the Earth. Because,
the whole Earth.
Yeah. And I know it's going to take extreme technological innovations.
Well, so far, the biggest dome we can come up to can go over a baseball field. And we're incredibly excited about that one.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
Well, we have. But I don't think we're going to be doming the Earth.
No, I mean, we've had ecosystems before where they've domed, like a little tiny village.
No, we haven't.
Are you thinking of the movie Biodome?
Yeah.
I thought that was...
As Pauly Shore. And that didn't even work out.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I don't know. If you want to get a hold of Stevie Baldwin, tell him to grab a Bible, some shorts, a skateboard, and get over here. Get extreme. And, Baldwin is one of those people who's like, what do we care? We're going to heaven, dude. I don't mind if the Earth ends tomorrow, because I know where I'm going.
I hate that kind of talk.
Religious, happy, world's going to be better than talk?
Not the going to heaven talk, but the just I don't care, so let it all go to hell in a handbasket talk.
Yeah. Here's Paul. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Fezzy, I wanted to tell you, you sound like a new man. You sound great. I'm thinking about going out to get a stint myself.
You really should. Everybody, my dream is this, since so many people are ending up with stents, and you said they were just lined up when you were there.
Oh, yeah, we were all backed up on the runway.
I've come up with the idea of baby stents, where you give stents to the babies basically the same time that you're circumcising. And you're saying this, baby, I know your blood's going to be running fresh and free for a long, long time. Thanks, French. That really did make me feel better. So, you, even though moments ago I was just looking at baby French, now I'm looking, but baby stents.
Yeah, if we unclog some babies early on, just imagine how quick learners they would be.
Do you think so?
Get all the blood flowing.
Hey, do you hear that? We got quick learners. Boy, you're a hayseed. You are so deep into Florida. They're good. They're quick learners, these kids.
But how would the baby stent grow with the child? That's the only problem. A guy will be 14, 15 years old. He's still going to have a miniature stent in him.
Inchworms that get larger and larger with you.
Okay.
All right, Ron and Fez Show, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Don, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. Dave. Now, Dave, I'm one of your biggest fans, but really, you can't be trying to save the Earth. If you put a dome over the whole Earth, it'll keep all the heat in and will suffocate.
What about this? Skylight. You have a skylight, let's say the size of Australia. You can just pop that thing open every once in a while.
I'm not saying that we're not going to have strategic holes.
Strategic holes.
No, you know what I'm saying, like the Toronto Sky Dome. That can open and close.
Right.
We'll have different, locations. Australia will be a location.
Why don't we do this? Instead of a dome, big mesh net to keep out the mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes, Fez.
Oh, they're the worst.
But there's no one thing that we can lose, right? Like, since the bees thing started, we're in big trouble without bees.
Right.
Do we need mosquitoes? I know they move blood around from place to place, but is that a good thing? We need them to spread disease. So we have to have mosquitoes.
I can't think of one reason why we would need mosquitoes. What in the world are they?
Well, but what feeds on them? Do the birds feed on them? And then do we need birds?
Frogs.
We would lose frogs?
Frogs feed on mosquitoes.
See, that's the weird thing. You got to be very careful in that chain what you lose. Because all of a sudden, you don't have mosquitoes, something else starts to run wild.
But what feeds on frogs if they feed on mosquitoes?
My cousins. You want to eat a frog with us? No. Come on over, have a frog soup.
How come mosquitoes only come out when it's spring and summertime? Where do they go?
Oh, they can't live in the snow.
Honestly, you never see them in the winter.
That's true. Here is Mike. They're dead in the winter, and then their eggs hatch in the spring, much like many, many things.
I didn't know that.
That's the way I take it. Fez?
Yeah, I think they lay the eggs and they just hatch the next season around.
That's why if you come back, the whole karma thing, you come back as a mosquito, don't worry, it ain't going to be that for that long. If I suddenly found myself going, all right, I can think and reason like Ronnie B, but I came back as a mosquito, I'm heading straight in the mouth of a fruit bat and getting that over with. And then just hopefully I'll come back as something a little better. Here's Mike, the teacher. He knows everything about everything. How are you, Michael?
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez. I wish that was true, Ron, but I just wanted to chime in. On the whole global warming thing, I don't know. I think we got more than 5 years, definitely. But it's going to be, what are going to be the quality of those 5 years?
That's why I'm taking 2 years of just relaxing.
All bets are off. To me, this is all gravy anyway.
Yeah, that's the way I take it, too. I can't believe the humans are still here.
Yeah, making it past Y2K, for me, it was all gravy.
What do you think is the closest humans have ever come to being extinct? Has there been a time, Are we going back to the Dark Ages where it looks like we could have lost humans? Or
the last major hit, if you look at one of those graphs of human population, it looks just like that Al Gore graph of temperature. It's that slow increase, and then it just shoots right up. The population of the Earth increased when Johnny Carson was on the planet. But the closest we came, it takes a big hit right during the Black Plague, where I think 1 in 3 people in Europe died, something like that. And Ron, that's the major thing I wanted to get to. The two things we got to do is check the population. We're just giving birth like so crazily. We're doubling the planet. We're 6.2 billion now. We were 2.5 billion in 1950, and we got to get rid of the oil. No one in 1950 would have said in 2007 we'd still be burning this oil in these.
Oh no, my grandfather did. I remember him always say. He actually even wrote it down. But as far as this, the overpopulation thing, I'm going to go along with Rudy, where he's kind of for abortion. I would go forced abortion.
Well, there's a big dying going on anyway that people don't even realize. We all talk about all these problems of the future. 25,000 people a day are dying of malnutrition because of this overpopulation, and no one cares about that. It doesn't make the headlines.
How many people?
I wanted to ask Fez something about his stent.
How many people are dying of bad stents?
No.
They never
say.
Idea.
In fact, but the stents are, let me tell you this, stents are good, but they're a mechanical fix. I wonder if he would be willing to take an experiment, because they're starting, this is what the future is going to be, Ron. I know how you love robots. I was wondering if anyone would be willing to live with a robot stent inside of them, meaning in the future, we know this is going to happen, that eventually you're going to swallow some little robot, and it's going to travel inside those arteries.
It's not that far away.
What's that?
It's not that far away. Those little robots look like scrubbing bubbles.
Yeah.
So instead of you getting that stent, Fez, you would just eat this pill. It would release these tiny robots that would somehow go right to your heart, and they would just start scrubbing along like those pool cleaner things.
Oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah, and all kinds of stuff. And so instead of having chemically or through surgery, these things will be able to go in there and do really micro work. Now, if you think about it for an ACL, like here, stay off your leg, and it'll be slowly fixed within the next 2 weeks, rather than slicing into the guy and then spending all that time healing and stuff.
Yeah, little robot surgeons just doing their thing while you don't even know they're in there.
But unless they decide to turn on you and go straight for your dick hole. That's what I worry about. I worry about an attack on our dick holes.
Yeah, how do you get them out if something goes wrong?
You don't. They rust in there.
Man.
They're tiny.
But that's the future, guys. You got to get ready for it.
Oh, I'll be long gone by then.
Big Brother and robots are coming.
I'll be going in some kind of a Waco thing, so don't worry about that. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. It is the Ron and Fez show. We were talking about this, Dave wants to dome the planet, and why wouldn't he? Would you guys go for the cyborg body parts? Would it bother you to have robot hands or legs or anything, or do you feel like that's just taken away from humanity?
I have no problem with robot hands or legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about a robot head? Would you be willing to live with a robot head?
I don't even think that would be me anymore.
Why? You're your body.
That would just be robot head.
So all right, this is an interesting thing. If your head is cut off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I send your head to Seattle, your body to Dallas, where are you?
I am in Seattle.
You're with your head.
I am with my head.
Even though that's the smallest part, the largest part of you is in Dallas, you are your head.
Yes.
You're not the rest of you.
I am where I'm thinking. Yeah, so if that's where my mind and my brain is, that's where I am.
Well, I think you're going to be dead. So you're not thinking.
Oh, okay.
Where are you? Where is Fez Whatley? With your head or with your body?
With my head. It's with my head.
No, I'm in Dallas. I'm with my body, without question, because my body is what hit game-winning home run in Little League when I was 12.
Interesting.
My body's what allows me to make love. You know, it's my body.
Well, by the way, this is two things Fez's body's never done.
That's why I've never gotten along with my body.
Earl, where are you? Are you with your head or your body?
I would have to go with my body.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, as much as...
Would your body lie over the ocean?
I would need to experience feelings, just like sensations and emotions and.
But all right, let's suppose they were walking around the way Fez has it now. Would you be more comfortable as a body walking around or a thinking head?
I would need to move around. I need the body. I need my body.
All right, so in your way, a paralyzed guy who's basically just a brain now, he's gone. Even though the head's there.
He's not him anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
What?
He's just, he's a weirdo, but he's not him.
If you're just going on body parts, no living, and you have the head in Seattle and the body in Dallas,
right?
And let's say you're having...
By the way, two awful places for you to be.
So let's say you're having memorial services or funerals in those two cities. People are going to know me by my face with my head. People aren't going to...
All right, then let's say this. Now, if someone came along and started molesting you, you wouldn't feel anything if you're in Seattle? You wouldn't be like, well, I don't care, that's not me?
Yes, I would feel bad if my decapitated body was getting fondled. Yes. If somebody...
there's my point, Watley.
If somebody got their big yayas out of fondling a headless body, yes, I would care.
All right, that's all I'm after.
Sickos.
All right, no further questions. You may be seated.
Who's undressing my headless body? Stay out of my fat jeans.
I'm telling you right now, your problem is you don't watch some of that America's Most Wanted. There's some awful people out there. But that's what I'm trying to tell you from the beginning. You're just throwing your body away, and he's throwing his head away like it's nothing.
Yeah. And I actually think, if you think about it, it could be your body that defines you more as a person. I mean, let's face it. It's maybe the gait of your walk, and, you had...
bro. When you think of, let's say, Plato,
right.
Da Vinci even, it's the mind. Even though Da Vinci's a great artist, you're not really giving the credit to his hand, you're giving the credit to his mind.
No, see, I always did give it to his hand.
Yeah.
I gave it because it's a physical thing. He's creating art.
But no, it's physical thing to move that pen, but his mind is creating the art. But his mind is telling his hand what to do.
But if Da Vinci had no arms, no paintings.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You take your brain, put it in Da Vinci's body, and you're not going to get those paintings. Right. You're going to get that stupid face that you draw 100 times a day.
Yeah.
Because it's not his... I mean, was he physically in control of his world? Yes, he was. But he still had to have the mind to create art. The mind creates art. Now, here's the thing, though. Where's the soul? Is it with the mind?
I think the soul's with the mind.
Earl?
I would go in the mind.
But you've left your body. You picked the body. What about for you?
Soul's in the chest.
Yeah.
Like it's somewhere in your chestal region.
My soul got a stent earlier.
I'm going to go along with, I'm going to go against all of you and say it's separate. And it's body, mind, and soul. The Greeks had it down perfectly. That they used to work on all three. Unlike us, we normally take one that we like best, and that's the only one we focus on. But, and I think that's what scares people about death, because, not to get too heavy into it, but it is your soul that goes on, not your mind. And you think of yourself as your mind.
Right.
Something is going to go on, but it's not the you that worries and thinks and tries to hold on to things. The Mayan in you.
Yeah, I think of my individuality, and for me, that's my mind.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Girl Ron had her cigar out today, and I just wanted to also say to her, I'm watching CNN headline news last night. Way to go, baby. Woo-hoo. Toe-to-toe with the pro, and I say more than held their own. I'd give her the win in a split decision. But I'm incredibly impressed with her, and would even jump up to say this. Biggest fan. I'm her biggest fan right now.
She was great.
Yeah.
She said there were a couple times where she was like, no. And it quickly got him to stop talking.
Here is Eric. Eric, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, first off, Fezzy, it is great to have you back. Second off, I'd like to hear a point-counterpoint between Ron and Earl about global warming.
I will talk a little bit about global warming with Earl, and this is very important. And my point, I don't think, can be fought on this. As far as global warming, I blame the blacks.
I blame the whites.
Blacks.
Whites.
All right, that one's a tie. I got to get a hold of Deb and get some training because I'm just, I get so caught up emotionally that I can't make my points. But did you notice I did this? I kept calling him Earl instead of Reverend. I brought him down. I took him down a slot. You're good, though, Earl. I'm not going to lie to you. Damn, why didn't I see the white thing coming? He just threw it right back in my face.
Well, he's been doing this a while.
I love a good point-counterpoint. Here is Dan. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, you're talking about artificial body parts. I just think we should get Dave a artificial mind or something, because anybody who thinks we could build a dome around the Earth just needs one.
No.
All right, let's not be rough. You know what? At this point, sir, we're just spitballing. We don't know what exactly we're going to do. Now, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not going along with Dave's idea, but I'd rather he's thinking at this point, throwing ideas out, rather than me trying to knock each one down.
People laughed at Magellan before he did.
I'm still laughing at him.
Why?
Why'd they laugh at Magellan?
He was a great adventurer.
Yeah, but he didn't know where he was going. He was an idiot.
Well, people laugh at a lot of people. But that's...
You know who they laughed at?
Who?
Richard Pryor.
Well, they were supposed to laugh at him, I think.
Well, it hurt his feelings. I mean, I laughed at him when he was on fire, and that was too far. I saw him that night he was on fire, and I go, Richard, have you topped yourself or what? This is unbelievable. And then later I found out, no. Hey, by the way, that would be a great bit for David Blaine to do.
Light himself on fire?
Light himself on fire and run down the street. They're so great.
He's worked with all the other elements.
Yeah, it's true. Ice.
Been buried alive, ice, water.
Water.
That's the same element, isn't it? Ice and water?
Yeah.
He's never worked with fire or smoke. He should try. Lava. He can work with lava.
That's a good one.
I am going to surf down lava. That's going to be... Make sure you watch Navy say... I will be...
Volcano.
Yeah.
David Blaine's new.
Here's Joe. Hey, Joe.
Yo, buddy.
Where you going with that phone in your hand?
I'm going down to call my old lady because I heard her messing with another man.
That ain't too cool.
So give her the phone. I think you got to stay with your phone. I'm done.
No, you did great. Come on, Joe. Stay with me.
You gotta stay with your head because that's where all your senses are. That's where you hear, you see... You think, you speak.
That's who you are. You are the things that you think and do. You're not your hands and your feet.
No, yes, you are. If something happens to you, like, when you're riding the subway, you need to, have your hands hold the thing. It's not your brain or anything.
How do you see where that thing is?
How does your hand know to grab on to the subway pole? And I can't believe out of all the things in the world to bring up, it's grabbing a subway pole is what you think makes someone an individual.
Well, blind people, they're able to do it, and their minds aren't working that well.
Why aren't blind people's minds?
See.
Their minds are working fine. They just can't see. Hey, Joe, I'm going to send you into the big-ass prize closet because I had fun with the Hendrix bet with you.
Hang on, Joe. We'll get you a DVD copy of South Park, the complete 9th season, courtesy of Paramount Home Entertainment. That is in stores now. For more info, you can go to paramount.com/home entertainment.
Okay, so I have a hypothetical question then. If you would rather have your brain working perfectly, but then you have, no control over your body whatsoever, or you do have, as you said earlier, the robot head, but it's your body, which would you choose? I would think 9 out of 10 people would choose their real body and the fake head. I would think, you posed a question.
Then you're not you. You are not you with a fake head. If you don't, what happens to your head, by the way, during this fake head thing?
What happens to my head?
Yeah.
It's put in a freezer.
Right, so it's basically dead.
Yeah.
So you're dead. When your brain dies, you die.
No, because my body will...
So you would never pull the plug on anybody. You think it's no big deal for, like Kathleen Quinlan sat around all those years like Turnip That's nothing to you.
Well, I probably wouldn't. No, you're right. I probably would not pull the plug.
Thank you, because now you are one of the pro-lifers. Off you go.
I don't see it like that.
Why don't you go down to Fez's old neighborhood? Who was that last year?
Terry Schiavo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, Fez could look out his bedroom window they grew up in, see Terry Schiavo's house.
It was right down the street.
Wow.
Yeah, and all the rebel flags and protesters were out there.
Why would they bring a rebel flag to that?
It was Confederate flags. Every other person had a Confederate flag along with right to life, let Terry live.
Here's what I love about it. You don't even see that as odd, growing up where you grew up. Honey, where's the Confederate flag? They're trying to pull the plug on Terry Schiavo. It doesn't even make sense.
I know, it didn't seem like a states' rights issue.
Yeah.
Or even a slavery issue.
Just so you know, Confederacy does not represent states' rights. They were against the states. They attacked the United States.
Right.
Damn rebels.
All right, it was over quick. 4 quick years. Boom.
Yeah.
It was a beatdown. I'm not going to lie to you. And by the way, my dad just told us a story one night at dinner, and we laughed and laughed and started high-fiving. Here's Otto. Otto, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, by the way, Fezzy, you are hitting it out of the park today.
He is on top of things.
Thanks, Otto. Best comment.
All he needed was a stent.
That's all he needed. He paraphrased the great French mathematician René Descartes just a few minutes ago when he said, "I am where I'm thinking."
I am, I said. I think that is Neil Diamond, and that's where it should go. Here's Mark. Mark, you're on Fez.
Hey there, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd rather go with my body, because if you got in trouble or something like that, you can always say, well, I was in a different state of mind.
But you couldn't even think of that, because you would just be a dumb buckethead, if you would.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to get I'm very fit. Maybe I'm a more physical person than you guys, but I want the same physical...
Well, I won't say that you're more physical than us, but you are less thinking. You are a guy who really doesn't enjoy thinking at all. And that's you, Dave. I love it. I love you for it.
Well, I mean,
and that's why we can pay you less. That's the beauty of that. Because it never dawns on you.
Sit down and philosophize and theorize.
Yeah.
It just makes people worry.
That is true. And then you never think to yourself, hey, why does Fez have such a great view? I do just as much as Fez.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's all working out for everybody. Hey, did any of you guys see the Fred Thompson, Michael Moore thing? Did he put it on YouTube, Earl? Is that where it came down?
Yes.
Now, the beauty of it, Michael Moore said, I will debate you, Fred Thompson. I guess Fred Thompson said Michael Moore went to Cuba and he's a traitor. So Michael Moore came back and said, I saw you smoking Cuban cigars, right? So Fred Thompson, who may or may not be running for president of the United States, he's an actor of TV, movies. Everybody likes Fred Thompson as an actor. And he basically plays the same guy over and over again. Someone's boss, but you like him. So he comes back on this YouTube thing, and he's got a great big cigar in his mouth. And he's directly talking to Michael Moore. And I'm like, I don't know if you can be elected president these days and be a guy who walks around smoking a cigar. Forget anything else.
Right.
Would they, more or less, crucify the guy for everywhere he goes he has a great big stogie?
They would totally come after a cigar smoker who's trying to be president. They would attack on every corner.
All right, let's listen to him talking directly to Michael Moore. It's only 25 seconds.
I've been looking at my schedule, Michael, and I don't think I have time for you. But I may be the least of your problems. The next time you're down in Cuba visiting your buddy Castro, you might ask him about another documentary filmmaker. His name is Nicholas Guillen. He did something Castro didn't like, and they put him in a mental institution for several years, giving him devastating electroshock treatments. Mental institution, Michael, might be something you ought to think about.
But the whole time he does it, he has this great big stogie in his mouth. And to me, he looked like $1 million. But I know a lot of people would be turned off by that. Now, Clinton used to go around with a cigar but never light it.
Right.
He just had an oral fixation.
Like he'd have it on the golf course with him.
Right. More or less like HTG does. She just walks around with a cigar, pretending that she's somebody else. But what do you think, Dave? People get behind this guy or no?
Yeah, I think they can. I think if he was smoking cigarettes, it would be a totally different story.
Yeah.
But I think that people still associate cigars with power.
Right.
And people want our presidents to be in control and to be powerful guys. And so I think the cigar thing actually works for him.
Interesting thing. I mean, believe it or not, Mr. No Brain, he really said the gimmick. Although I think they will attack it on the tobacco industry. You're right. There is a big difference between a little cigar and a big cigar and a little tiny cigarette. That looks like you got a little tiny dick. Earl, what about for you? Look, Dave, puppet show. Enjoy the puppet show.
Oh, that's Copy.
Yeah. What's his name?
Copy. He's a cop. He's
Is
a
that
cop.
new?
Not like I'm reading some copy. He's a policeman. And it is brand new. It got sent to us. We've put together a registry.
Of what?
Casey and I, for the wedding.
And Copy was on it?
Yeah, Copy.
Yeah.
And
who bought Copy for you?
A dog outfit. I forget at this point.
Earl, the cigar. Work, no work?
I think it works. Listen to the tone of his voice. He seemed relaxed.
I know.
In control. And that's what cigars...
That is true. You'll never see a guy with a cigar going like this. Oh, I'm really nervous about this. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't think Fez could do what he does with a cigar. I don't think it would fit him. I think you would say to yourself, fuck it. What's the big deal?
Calm and collected is the way I always associate people with cigars.
Yeah. Interesting. So anyway, we don't even know if Fred is running for president or not. Did you see the Republicans at all last night? They had another little debate.
No, I missed the whole Republican debate last night.
Some people like this. I still put it like the beginning of American Idol, where you see some people who think they could be idol and you think they're stupid. That's how I feel about the early debates. Now, apparently, this is the first time in 80 years that we're going to have an election without a standing president or a standing vice president in the race.
Wow.
80 years it's been.
I didn't realize it had been that long since it was this wide open.
Yeah. This is the first really fresh start that we've had in 80 years.
Yeah, you got like 10 candidates on each side.
Richard, you're Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, I feel like I'm stating the obvious, but I think presidents with cigars has a whole new connotation nowadays.
Because of Clinton?
Yeah, the whole Monica Lewinsky thing.
Banging her with the cigar, I thought was punk rock. I gave him all the credit in the world for that. Yeah.
It was pretty hot.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I mean, and I'm sure that was just the beginning of it. I'm sure he also used the tip of his shoe. Get her with a wingtip. Let us see if she's playing.
It's probably one of those presidential pens, too, that everyone gets to keep after he signs something.
You think he just went through everything that he had?
Anything on the desk that he could grab.
Yeah. Here's Paul. Paul, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddies, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
What about Barack Obama? Can people get behind him knowing that he's a cigarette smoker?
Well, I thought he quit, and the thing that I hated is it was like his wife said, you have to quit, and he did a big joke about that. And I don't like the whole thing of a president being told what to do by a spouse. You know what? That's a lie. I was just going to say a woman. I tried to cover for it, but it is because I'm in like, hey, if Hillary has to do this, she has to do this. That, and I know it's wrong, but it wouldn't bother me as much as if Hillary's husband told her what to do, as much as Obama's wife. Right. And that's just prejudiced.
Yeah, she said, but that was before he was even, the weird thing is, it sounds like he wasn't allowed to run until he quit smoking. That was like one of her rules for him to even jump in the race.
866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Where are you on that one, Earl? You still have that prejudice, that male-female prejudice?
No, not anymore.
I will give you this example, and I think that we all do. We all sit around and watch The Sopranos. We watch Tony get laid last weekend had to be at least a dozen, maybe more, of different women since the show's been on.
Right.
Never bothers us. We do not even think it gets in the way of the way he thinks about his wife and his family. We think that's just something Tony needs to do. But when his wife had the affair, everybody was freaked out about it. Everyone was like, how could she do this? You know what I mean? You take it in an entirely different way. It's unfair, but I think if you do have a prejudice, you should recognize it. And that's definitely one that I have. Did you pick up on that as well, Dave?
Yeah, I did. And I still think it comes back to just the thing of men are supposed to do that because we're supposed to spread, sperm.
All right, so you feel like you and your Casey, you are okay to go fooling around, but she cannot.
Yeah, I would say that's the case. I mean,
right.
I'm not going to at all.
But you'll be fighting nature, and with her,
exactly,
she's lucky enough to have you.
Yes.
You believe you agree with Dave there?
I don't agree with all of that part, but like they're using the Carmela reference there. She was always the one that kind of held everything down. She kept the family together.
But nothing got torn apart. Nobody found out about it. That was just her little affair on the side. No real difference between what Tony did and what she did.
But she would always get on Tony about the girlfriends, about straying away, about, what if you get one of these girls
pregnant? So that makes her the liar. Even though Tony would have freaked out if he would have found out. And you got no problem with that. And I mean, we were all going like this. Well, go ahead, you're sleeping with the dead man. When we were watching that show, not only did we think David Strathairn would get killed, we wanted him to. We basically wanted him to get, even though he had nothing to do with that marriage, it was none of his business, we wanted to see him get whacked. Are you the same way, Fez, or is it different for you?
I think it's, I think I have the same prejudice.
Let's go over here to Cross. Cross, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
I wanted to make another comment about Thompson. He brought up the fact that Castro flew in a surgeon from Spain, and the whole premise of his film was that Cuba had better health care than America, and it was kind of hypocrisy that no one will talk about.
Yeah, I did not see the film yet, so I can't comment on the way that it went. By the way, I did get an email from your girlfriend, Dave, about your last statement.
Yeah.
And it says simply, your statement was what? It's okay for you to run around?
It's okay for men, because we're supposed to pollinate like bees.
And it's not okay for your fiance?
No, because they don't have to do it. There's no physiological reasons for girls to do that.
Your fiance, Casey, sent me this email.
Okay.
Fuck that, I'm packing. Have fun, fucking copy.
Okay, no. Well, wait a second.
I think you screwed up.
No. I said I would not do that in a million years.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about men in general.
Too late. She's already
No, I'm not going to do that.
Let me know how things went between you and Copy tonight, though.
I'm not.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. It is the Ron and Fez show. Of course, no one's seen the Michael Moore movie yet. So I don't know what him and Fred Thompson are fighting about. I've seen 60 Minutes do pieces where they go, health care for the poor is better in Cuba than it is here. You know what I mean? Like, if you have money, you're better off being in the United States. But if you don't have money, I think was the point of this, you're better off being in Cuba. Again, I don't want to get out of the hospital and then eat squid 3 meals a day. I got to have a little red meat. Here is Crazy. Crazy, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, boys.
Yeah.
I just had a comment there on Carmela and Tony Soprano and the whole cheating issue.
Yeah.
I think that for a woman, it's an emotional thing. That's why it's so, crazy for us. We look at it and we go, oh, geez, that's terrible. And then for a guy, it's just like a stress relief. You get it just physical, it's done, it's over.
I am going to disagree with you 1,000,000%, or why would we have long-term affairs? I think, of course, men also are looking for an emotional attachment. You were shaking your head like you agreed with him.
I agree with the call. Yeah, I definitely agree.
So you think men run around like dogs and they don't care who they sleep with and they don't even care for that person?
I mean, I think a long-term affair just might be because you've gotten into such a good groove sexually with your affair partner.
And yet every woman that you've ever had sex with, you've been emotionally attached to.
I have, but...
Thank you. That's all you need to know. Okay. That's all we can do is go by each person. What about you, Earl? Is there an emotional attachment when you hook up with somebody, or...
Oh, there's always an emotion. With me, there's always an emotional attachment. You're looking for something... When you're having an affair, you're looking for something that obviously your wife or your long-term partner is not giving you, or there's a whole different... You're just looking at it from a different perspective.
I just think it's a lie to say that men don't have emotional attachments.
Well, I'm sort of referring it to in the Carmela Tony situation where she's always feeling left out and looking for that male.
All right, I want you to look at Tony, though. He used to take those chicks everywhere, and when one of them was with somebody else, remember, he went in and beat that guy's ass, even though it got in the way of business. Mm-hmm. I think Tony's always been an emotional person. And I know women, and you know the same ones, but I'm not going to bring them up, who are far, more, I don't want to use the word, less emotional in their affairs. Mainly because they get to pick and choose.
Yeah.
All right, your fiancée did come back, but she is with copy.
Oh, baby, please.
And they're starting to copulate.
Okay, all right.
That's why he's called Copy. I like to see Copy on CNN. Just going, just going. I mean, one night if Deb can't make it, and you'll be talking with Copy from the PAC. This is crazy.
Gotta find a pearl necklace for Copy then.
Whoa!
No, I mean that's her.
I got you. Oh, you meant a real pearl necklace?
Yeah,
I thought you were talking cum stuff.
No, HTG. That's her like staple. Is that little pearl necklace?
I'd give her one.
No, a real necklace.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna look at her rope.
All right, we're just having communication problems.
Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, Fez.
Yeah.
Why are you asking Hurl about sex? I mean, if you want to talk about emotional attachment, then we should be talking about him and his mother, don't you think?
I don't know who else to talk to, Fez or Dave. It is really slim pickings around here. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Andy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, how you doing?
Good.
You're going to talk about emotional attachment here. There's two different things that you got going on. You have an affair, and then you have cheating. Most guys are going to say they want to get into cheating because there is no emotional attachment. Of course, got to pick the right woman.
Then you better go with a hooker, because that's the only place you're going to... I mean, you look at Copy right now. He's doing very, very well for himself.
I know. I don't like that.
He's getting some chin and some cheek.
Some chin. Copy.
He's copping a feel.
I know,
right
Copy.
now, that's why he's called Copy.
This is unlawful entry.
Hands off, Copy.
Here's Bill. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I have to disagree with one of those calls. I think men are far more emotionally attached in a long-term relationship. I mean, you hear about a lot more men killing their ex-wife or girlfriend than you hear about women killing their ex-boyfriend.
Here, Bill. I'm going to send you into the big-ass prize closet. It's exactly what I was talking about. Not only are men more emotional, they get more twisted and sick and confused with their emotion. And it's the fact that we act like, I don't care one way or another, is part of which, the part of Dave just bringing it back to spreading seed is what makes no sense at all. It goes to show that you really aren't attached to your brain. You really aren't a big thinker about this.
Hold on, Bill. We're going to give you a DVD copy of Inside the Actors...
Copy?
Yes. Inside the Actors Studio Icons, courtesy of Shout Factory. It's a 3-DVD set featuring...
He's getting tea. Copy is getting tea right now.
This includes interviews with Paul Newman, Robert Redford, Clint Eastwood, Barbara Streisand, and never-before-seen footage, all from Shout Factory. Inside the Actors Studio Icons, that's in stores now.
I'm kind of
turned
excited.
on. It's unbelievable.
But at the same time, it's a puppet and...
Shut up. Just let it go. Casey and Copy are Well, they're getting a little carried away. Dave, why would you leave him at work? Why would you leave him home?
That was a huge mistake. Yeah. He'll be zipped up in my backpack tomorrow, copy.
Oh. Here is Fred. Fred, you're on Ron and Fez.
Well, do you consider, like, getting a massage and then a happy ending? You consider that cheating?
I would never put it on my list, personally. I never say, oh, there was a woman I was with. I feel the same way about hookers, though.
Oh, I think a hooker is cheating, but
I say it doesn't make the list, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it should, because I think it's sexual intercourse that should always make the list.
All right, let me go over to Earl. Earl, does it make the list?
No, I wouldn't put it on the
Because
list.
that's cheating. That's just really, that's like going with a ham and egg and trying to expand your win-losses. I just don't. What about a happy ending? Is that cheating?
No, that's not cheating because that's part of the massage.
Right.
And it's just, if the girl...
All right, let me ask you this. Suppose your chick, your fiance, went out and got a massage.
Oh.
She got a happy ending. You would think it was just part of the massage?
Okay, I would change my rule, but girls aren't as horny as... It's just...
Girls aren't as horny as guys.
No.
Not when they're with you. All right, by the way, Copy's got a new name. Dugout Doug.
Hey! What the fuck? Why?
Because he's on the list.
Don't call him. Yeah, but Dugout Doug's a real person.
So's Copy.
No, he's not. He's a puppet.
I like to call him Jonathan.
Hey, come on, Mr. B.
I don't know whether you know this or not, but Dave's got a little jealousy thing. You were drunk that night, but I guess your chick has a long-time friend, right?
Yeah, Jonathan, who's she's been friends with him since kids.
Yeah, since they were kids. And you're a little jealous about it.
Yeah, well, I am.
They have fun without you.
You don't care for that relationship, huh?
Well, I mean, one time I spotted them on Pal Talk in my apartment together.
Yeah.
That was upsetting.
Oh, Jonathan. So, we're out last Friday night.
Thank you.
Good one, Earl. Look who's producing. And see how we all laughed and we enjoyed.
What?
And then he ruined it.
Yeah, of course he does. He's not all that good. So then, last week when he was drunk, and I known from that week, he's like, this is getting crazy. I'm just about had it with this, right? So I see him and he's drunk at bar 9 and I go like this. Casey and Jonathan are getting carried away. Yeah. He takes off, runs over. Obviously nothing's happened. And then, he turns around and looks at me, and I'm just laughing at him from the other side. I made him run across the bar like an idiot.
Yeah. All right, that was a fun little trick, toying with my emotions there.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean it that way.
Well, it hurt, nonetheless.
That's what made me laugh, the fact that you hurt. I don't know why that is, but sometimes I can't feel any joy until someone else has pain or embarrassment or, hopefully, jealousy.
Jealousy. I have a lot of it. Jonathan. Stay out of my house.
No. All right, Stryker has a joke. Go ahead, Stryker.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, pal.
Hey, you talk about, like, emotional attachment with having an affair or just the stress relief of cheating, which to me that's what it is. I'm married. I have a girlfriend on the side, and occasionally, being out here on the road, if I need relief, I get a little stress build up, I won't hesitate to hit like an Asian massage parlor, get a happy ending just for the stress relief.
All right, now, at the same time, and I agree with everything that you're saying, but would you be cool with your wife having a boyfriend on the side and occasionally needing a massage parlor?
Sure.
You would be cool with it?
Yeah.
All right, you are, my friend, what I would call a swinger. And you didn't think that they even existed anymore.
Oh, hell yeah.
Swingers.
There's a lot of swingers in this world.
Yeah, I know, but none of them are attractive. That's my problem with swingers. Like when people are all, would bring that up with me, like, so you guys are okay with, like, no, not everything. We're okay with a chick coming around. Now, more than that is crazy. More than that gets in the way of everything.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to put the rules out there. Pitsy, you're a young man. You are pre-engaged.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Pre-congratulations.
He will not get his wife, or the father will not give away the daughter, his fiance, until Pitsy learns to ride a bike. But let's do this, Pitsy. You're really interested in women.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, you're a heterosexual, which is hard to say in this show. Most of the guys on this show, Dave is only one girlfriend away from not being heterosexual.
What are you talking about?
Well, you were broke up time. You did not live a heterosexual lifestyle that entire time.
Well, it's because I found the person who is for me.
Yeah, but the time in between, you didn't date.
No, I didn't.
Yes. So I say at that point, you were not a practicing heterosexual.
If I tried, it wasn't voluntarily.
Whose copy with now? The doll of her?
Oh, no, that's the little doll of me that Photoshop Mike made. He made...
now, that means that you're in a little relationship with Copy.
What the hell?
This is the best puppet show I've seen since I was a kid.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I don't want Bobblehead Dave getting fondled by Copy. He made Bobblehead...
This just in, Bobblehead Dave has a new boyfriend. It's Copy. So I say he wasn't heterosexual during that time.
No, because you got to let it out, man.
Yeah.
You can't just bottle it up and wait for her to come back.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he tried, but he failed.
Did he try? Who did you ask out?
The first time we broke up, I definitely tried. And just not a lot of, no takers.
Oh, geez.
None.
But what about Winnie Cooper? Didn't you?
Vinny.
I tried.
She goes by Vinny now.
Not tried, but when we got drunk.
By the way, did Vinny ever come through for that stuff for Fez? The menus,
We're still waiting.
I haven't seen anything.
Now, yesterday you had 2 pork chops and a piece of ham. I don't think that's the way to go.
Well, I tried to hide the ham in between the pork chops. I didn't know anyone noticed.
Oh, Copy. Guess what? Bobblehead Dave is no longer a virgin.
Oh.
Earl, you don't live a heterosexual lifestyle.
Yeah, I do. A poor example of one, but I consider myself a heterosexual man.
I can't even do the show. Puppet show, puppet show, puppet show, puppet show, puppet show, puppet show. Hey, you know what?
Dave is getting raped.
No, Bobblehead Dave seems like he's on top.
Wow.
He's the aggressor.
All right, please.
Yeah.
Actually,
here is Duke. Duke, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
What I've seemed to find out is women, they want financial independence. I'm a polygamist. I have 4 wives, and they each have their own house and their own setup, and they understand that I'm who I am, and if they're all financially taken care of and have what they need in life.
All right, Duke, what are you, calling from the TV show Big Love? I don't understand. I understand having multiple wives. I don't understand the multiple houses. That's a little too much.
Because the women like to have independence, and so they have each of my wives has their own place. I financially take care of all of them, and they're quite happy like that.
All right, what kind of work do you do that you can take care of 4 women?
Well, I happen to hit gold in the late 90s with a website. So,
all right, so now you say polygamous. Who are you? You're only actually married to one of them.
Legally, I'm married to all 4.
Yeah.
But what happens is, it's one of those laws that no one really pays attention to. So I had a wedding. I've married all 4 wives. Women want to get in their dress. They want to have that wedding. They want to walk the aisle. So who's gonna follow through? It's a law that doesn't get paid attention to, Ronnie.
Mm-hmm. No, I got to agree with you. Somebody's got to complain before anybody does anything.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And if all the women are into it, and what business is of the rest of ours? I really don't understand why we all always think that it's up to us to decide how each other lives.
Yeah, I mean, they're all very happy, and they,
Aren't you worried about Bruce Stern, though? I mean, he's running everything, and he's kind of mean. I haven't seen all of this. My chick loves this. My chick loves this show, Big Love.
Yeah, I've never seen the show.
Yeah.
All
right, now, let's go through this. Casey has Dave, who she loves.
Yeah.
Copy, Bobblehead Dave, and Jonathan. Everybody is happy. Everybody's into it. And Dugout Doug.
Okay.
So
I'm not happy.
Yeah.
The guy over here?
Oh, by the way, he's now calling himself Nappy Dugout Doug.
I don't know about that. I'm not happy with that arrangement.
Yeah.
I just like one-on-one.
You and another guy. Here's Drew. Drew, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ron, the Germans have a word for taking joy in other people's misery.
Yeah.
It's called Schadenfreude.
Write this down for me, because I want to get that tattoo. Schadenfreude. And
I thought the word was Nazism.
I will have a Schadenfreude Bennington as one of my children. All right, I'm going to put you on the big-ass prize closet. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ.
Hang on, Drew. We'll get you a DVD copy of SCTV, The Best of the Early Years. That's from the Shout Factory. 3 DVD set contains 15 great episodes from 78 to 80, as well as new commentaries and features. That's SCTV, The Best of the Early Years, in stores now or at shoutfactory.com.
Earl, these plugs need to be shorter, brother. Just go out and get the DVD. Should be the entire plug. I don't want him reading a page and a half. His stent's going to pop. All right?
Got winded on that one.
Sentence or two.
Yeah, I'll edit it down.
It stops the show cold.
I'll edit it down.
Thank you. Jason, you're on Ron and Fez. And one more thing. Fez, you do it yourself. You don't have to read everything he puts there. He's not a teacher for you. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I wanted to say, when men go to the club, they have a mindset that they want to get laid. If a woman has that same mindset, she's definitely going to get some that night.
If they go where?
Can't do that.
If they go where?
If they have the mindset that they want to get laid, they're going to get laid that night.
Yeah.
That's why.
But where do they go?
It is more emotional for a woman.
Where do they go, Jason?
Oh, they can go anywhere.
Come on, give me the word again. I'm dying to hear clubs.
Offered you some sex, offered you some head right there. You would take it.
I have got to admit that I agree with you. And look at the puppet show is growing all around the internet right now.
What the hell?
Yeah. Angry Deb even has a little dog, even though it's not affecting her. Why? She's on the job today, my man.
Yeah, she's got
on the job.
A lot of people she's got to talk to.
And I say, look out, Al. I honestly do. Al, you're going down, brother. You are going down. Because she is working it.
Vicious.
Here is Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Great.
I just wanted to tell Fez, too, first off, that it's nice to have him back on the show. It was a long week without him.
Thanks, Chris.
And I wanted to ask Eastside Dave, I think you said before that sex was the most important part of your relationship with Casey.
I didn't.
Oh, I don't think he ever said that.
I didn't say that.
I thought he said that because in the past, Ron, you did ask him about that if something happened to Casey, would he still love her? And he said he would. So I would think that his most important part would be an emotional attachment then.
With Casey, yes. Yeah, but we were talking about outside people, Chris.
Look at Copy just nibbling on her ear.
Copy!
Telling her little sweet nothings.
I am going to... I might have to leave work early.
So you're saying
with her...
Sex is important?
Sex is important, but I mean, no, it's a fucking a real emotional connection is obviously the most important thing.
You guys have like match game and stuff, right? And that's your common ground.
That's not emotional, though.
What is it? What's the emotional connection that you're looking for?
I can lay in bed with her. I mean, this is embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing.
An emotional thing. I mean, I can't describe it. It's like, you look into someone's eyes and there it is. That's all you see, you know? The fucking world could be on fire if I look at her. That's all I'm seeing right there. But at that moment,
when you're going to burn up though. You've got to get her out of that fiery bedroom.
No, but I'm just saying she's the most important thing. Even if the world was exploding, and just it was about to be obliterated, she's the only thing I would care about.
Really, you don't care about Fez blowing up in the world?
Great.
I mean, I can't
get away. I got a stent.
I'd be a little sad.
I mean, me and Vic, Vic helps me. She takes care of me. She helps me pay my bills and shit like that. I know
she's your mommy,
basically.
That's because you're a deadbeat.
Don't get into that. He's not a deadbeat. And you know what? You're blowing it off instead of being you're all embarrassed because you exposed yourself. You tried to communicate to your friends, you couldn't do it.
Shallow.
No, I say what it was that you love about Casey. So when he starts to talk about, hey, I have a female secretary, you attack him for it.
The bills and stuff like that. I think the best thing about love is you can't explain it. Who the fuck can explain love? It's impossible. The whole point is it's a mysterious and wonderful emotion that can't be described. Otherwise,
I disagree. I mean, every song practically ever written is about love. Tons of novels, just about every poem. Other than the ones, if they're not about love, they're about lost love. You know, we think about love all the time.
We think about love.
All you need is love.
And
love is the answer.
Right, but we try.
She loves you, yeah.
Yep.
Love is a battlefield.
Yeah, well.
That one.
I don't know about that. Hell is for children, but I'm not even bringing that up right now.
But we try to put it into words, but ultimately, no. It's like supernatural is love.
Mm-hmm. Also, love is a ghost.
No, but it's just something that is impossible to be explained.
Is love a drug? Love is a drug.
I would say that.
No.
Yeah. I would say that. I mean, you can't explain God. You can't explain love. You know, I would say they're the two same things. They're unexplainable entities.
What about copy?
I can describe copy as an adulterous puppet.
Here's Catfish. You're Ron and Fez.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
What can we do for you?
Hey, Fezzy, welcome back. I wanted to say that first, but, Dave, I got a question for you, buddy. You said you had an emotional attachment that you were ashamed, you were embarrassed to say about Casey, but yet you're not embarrassed to stick your dick in peanut butter and jelly?
No, I wasn't necessarily embarrassed. I was just having... It's tough to describe love. That's what I was embarrassed about.
What about the fact that... But why be embarrassed? Why be embarrassed? How about the fact that she loves you for your smooth girl hands?
Yeah, what? Smooth girl?
She says you have smooth girl hands.
Well,
and it feels like she's being touched by a girl.
That's because they're
milky.
Yeah.
Well, they should be. Otherwise, I'll sue the Lubriderm people. But I don't have to, because they put out a wonderful product, and I put it on my hands and reapply.
Did you ever accidentally put on Lubriderm? Oh, no! What have I done? Here's Brian. Brian, you're on Fez.
Hey, how you doing, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, all these affairs and trysts and everything that go on and stuff, it's probably due to the fact that the way we were brought up about sex. I mean, we're so uptight and taught that, you know, touching your dick is bad and the whole thing that, you know, there's monogamous animals in the world that stay with one mate.
Yeah.
If we weren't so uptight about it, you know, you'd probably stick together for a lot longer and the divorce rate would go down.
If it was okay to have affairs?
Well, yeah, I mean, not if it was okay to have affairs, but just don't be so uptight about the upbringing of sex and that it's so wrong.
Yeah.
Why it's so wrong.
All right, let's check with everybody here. Well, the way that you brought up, was sex considered wrong, or was it more open for you? What about you?
Very wrong.
Fez?
Very wrong.
Earl?
Oh, it was fine. But it was starting to be irresponsible.
Your parents used to even leave the door open.
No.
Watch.
Not.
What about for you, Pitsy?
Yeah, it was wrong.
Yeah. Well, how did you pick up the idea that was wrong, Fez?
Let's see. Probably, I think when I was about 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think I walked in on my parents and then got really yelled at when and I was like, something awful must have been going on in there for me to be getting screamed at this bad.
So but you got screamed at for a lot of things. Why just sex? Why was it the sex that stuck with you as being the worst?
I don't know. It was always a thing of I think it was because there wasn't a lot of affection either.
Your parents, I see them hugging and kissing all the time.
Each other.
Yeah. Well, what do you want them to do? Make out with you?
No, there wasn't a lot of hugging and kissing of the children.
Did you want to come in for boom boom time? That's very weird. All right, so you felt like if you would have been hugged and kissed more, sex would have been better.
Right, and it would have been a more comfortable, at least, more comfortable with the human body, more comfortable with sex.
I want you to know something. At no point that a parent hugs and kisses a child should sex even come up. It's a very separate thing. So don't confuse those two because that's a little scary for me as well. How did you get the idea that was bad?
I knew my parents were watching the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
And there was like a skit or something where they started making out.
Yeah.
Just making out, and it was a little racy, but it was Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett.
Right.
So nothing awful happened.
And I just remember my mom saying, "Pat, turn the channel," because I was in the room watching it with them, and my mom looked at me.
Well, were you getting turned on?
I was 6.
I know. The little kids can't get turned on.
No, I think I was like, looking at it like the RCA dog, and she just quickly said, turn the channel.
Oh, I think you might have pulled your pants down.
And I knew then it was very, very...
Kissing was wrong.
Bad, yeah.
So you always kept that, and maybe that's why you were afraid to take Casey home.
Yeah, maybe.
That maybe this could be the next Carl Burnett disappointment for you. Fitzy, how did you pick up on it?
Well, we lived. There's a church in our backyard, so
Yeah.
my grandparents were very religious, so they never even talked about it. If it was ever brought up, they would just scream and they would avoid the topic altogether. And I had to learn about it on my own, you know, because I didn't have a father.
Well, believe me, most dads don't talk. My dad never had the talk with me. I think. No, I can't think of one that he did.
Well, that's like the TV cliche that your father always talks to you about it and sits you down.
No.
Catholics, they're never going to talk about it.
Yeah, we didn't do it. Did your dad have to talk with you?
Yeah, because I was insistent about it. When my mom got pregnant with my little brother.
How old were you?
I was, again, 7.
Yeah, that's not when the talk happens.
Yeah.
The talk is the teenage talk, right? It's the sex talk.
Yeah.
Not just where the babies come from, but how do I go about doing these things. Earl, did your dad have to talk with you?
Never.
Yeah.
Not at all. I mean,
I don't think a father would. I just can't imagine, son, here's the...
And what's the point? I mean, dude, there's so much porn available. The kid's going to
But that's not the way to learn. You know what I mean? Like,
it's the way most people do, I think.
I agree with you. But I don't think that's the healthy way, because I remember seeing Playboy magazines and being really little. And it was a naked woman and a guy in a tuxedo. And I go, I do not understand it other than checking out ass. I do not understand the concept here. And I remember thinking, sex is going to be difficult for me because I'm not all that formal. I don't think that I'm going to keep a tuxedo.
Shouldn't the talk now be safe about it than having to teach your kid, though? You know,
well, abstinence is still the number one taught things above anything else, I would say. You know, organized-wise.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and I remember just learning through it, finding my brother's... porn tapes, and popping it in the VCR and just being like, what the hell? And what is shooting out of his cock at the end? I couldn't believe what that stuff was.
Yeah, and I mean, there is some kind of situation that we probably do need to mature, but we will not. I mean, it's 2007. We're not comfortable with it being taught in schools. The fact that it comes up in schools at all, and, you know, that's the main thing that the school boards have to deal with. Not math questions. No one ever goes, I don't like the way my child is learning math.
Right.
I don't like the way they're conjugating verbs. But God forbid there should be one of those health pictures that has the naked man next to the naked woman and all the body parts listed. Here's Ronnie. Ronnie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Fez, take care of yourself, bro.
Thanks, pal.
Ron, you know what Dave sounds like? That guy when we were growing up who got his first good piece of ass.
Yeah.
He's in lust. That's not love. He is in lust with everything's about being in bed with her. Have they had that talk about how many guys she's been with yet?
No, we don't need to have that talk.
They don't need to have that talk. And I disagree with you. I disagree with you 100%. I think Dave is in love.
Yeah, I mean, after it's been a few months now.
Yeah.
And I think the lust thing, I mean, if you don't have anything to talk about or laugh about and shit like that.
That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah. I mean, we can, dare I say, be romantic and then, you know, laugh and hang out and smoke cigarettes 15 minutes later like we're just buddies at a bar. And I think that's true love right there. That's the definition.
So you feel like you're with a guy... but who also has a fantastic body.
No, I don't.
Confuse them.
She's
Buddy,
very...
the buddies in the bar. Confuse me.
Like, just the way we can talk about sports and other things. She has... we have similar sensibilities.
Here is Jerry. Jerry, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on the emotional attachment.
Mm-hmm.
That's connected to your estrogen levels. And a man's estrogen level is never higher than right after you have sex. So the more you spend time with the woman directly after having sex with her, the more emotionally attached you get. That's why after you have sex and you lay in bed with them, You feel a deeper connection.
I don't. I feel like it's acid on my skin. I feel like, please get off my arm. And what do we got in the fridge? I'd love to have a sandwich.
Oh, a nice snack is always the way to go.
But you're a cuddler now instead of a snacker.
Yeah, I cuddle now.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours later, when she's asleep,
Then
I'll
you get something to eat.
Piece of cold pizza.
You're waiting 2 hours for your snack?
Yeah.
Your cuddle snack?
Yeah.
What about you, cuddler?
No.
Yeah,
That
never?
ended really quick. Because I had a twin bed at first, so
Right.
we had to cuddle. But then I got a bigger bed because she sleeps over.
Yeah.
And now I just push her against the wall so I can get some sleep.
Your mom doesn't mind that she's sleeping over?
No, she's actually really cool with
That's
it.
nice. See?
Wow. That's very liberal of your mother.
Well, liberal, but the thing is, they thought he was gay up until 6 months ago. So
would I with that earring.
Here is Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Wow, is that bed in Pitsy's mom's room too, or are they separate bedrooms?
Sure. You know what? Let's ask him.
He's a quick
too much.
thinker, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie. My question for Fezzy is, what did he see growing up? I make it a point to show my kids how much I love their mom and kind of cuddle and kiss her and all that stuff in front of them. What did Fezzy model? What did he see when he was growing up?
Well, my dad would kiss my mom goodbye, for work, and it was always, a couple of quick pecks. I never saw any real, affection.
That is not true. I know your parents. They cuddle on the couch even at my house when they come over. They're hand holders.
I never saw that as I was a kid.
Do you agree now that they're hand holders?
Totally.
And I'm going, geez. And I said this was just, like, I never saw anyone's parents act like Fez's parents.
Wow.
But, I'll take your word that something changed.
Yeah, they're
like kids together.
Yeah, they're very affectionate now. But, it wasn't like that when I was a kid.
Maybe they needed to get those kids out of the house.
I think that's what it was. I think there was like a lot of embarrassment, like on my mother's part.
I will say this, and I would say, unlike all the other guys on the show, you still blame most of your problems on your parents.
Yeah, I mean that's when I started feeling anxieties and insecurities and stuff. So yeah, that goes back that far for me.
Well, you've never been able to let go of it and say, "Hey, they did what they did," or nobody's perfect. You still haven't gotten back to seeing them as just being human beings yet.
I like to think that, and I realize it, but I don't know if I've ever let go of it.
Yeah. I know it's like when your younger brother's up here, he has totally let go of it.
Oh, yeah.
And he sees them just as being people. And some of his, the things he says are not unlike the things that you say. But he's not nearly as affected about it today. He can take it or leave it today.
Right. He doesn't. He says it as facts and he doesn't personalize it.
Right.
Doesn't include himself in it.
Right.
Like I do.
And even now, he's not trying to please.
Oh,
he's
no.
like saying, look, I'll be over if everybody's cool. If not. But you're like, I have to go home to a bad situation. But you still go home.
Yeah, I still do. I still feel that nagging obligation.
Do you feel obligated with your parents?
Yes, unfortunately.
Bitsy?
No.
Earl?
Not as much as I used to.
You're a Sunday morning. You got to be there every Sunday, though, right? Sunday morning coming down. Your folks like they call
Yeah, I'd go there every Sunday, but if I don't show up, there's no big drama over it at all.
No, yeah, but you've never really moved away either. Where Fez has at least moved away. I mean, you live how far from your parents? 4 blocks?
By mass transit, an hour away.
Yeah. An hour?
Yeah.
What?
In Queens?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
What are you, taking the local?
No, because, I have
How far by car?
By car?
5 minutes?
Half hour.
I didn't know you lived that far away.
Yeah, it's half hour by car.
So you go an hour to church every Sunday and then and then sit there for 2.5 hours and then come home for an hour. So 4.5 hours of time.
You don't forget, we go home and we eat and we watch, and like my father and I watch the game.
No, you watch the second half of the game. Neither one of you's ever seen a kickoff in all these years because your reverend goes too long. And I would actually bring it up. I go, you know what? I enjoy the service. But I'm not going to be here at past 1 o'clock.
They don't have an early mass? Like on Sunday we have 4 masses. Like they should have an early mass and a late mass.
No, the Protestants are so different than us.
We used to have
They're not very corporate.
It's wavered back and forth over the years.
But it's a one deal only, right?
Yeah, I mean, but every couple of years they'll do the 8 o'clock service or the 8:30 service, but the 8:30 service would go so long it would spill over into the 10:30 service, and at one point he just goes, you know what, we just have one service.
Then you know what? That's crazy. I need to focus, and I can't show up here at 10:30, and then you still not catching the kickoff at 1 o'clock.
More often than, unless there's a guest preacher who they always tell the guest preacher you got 15 minutes, and then he'll go on at noon, and he's off at like between 12 and 12:30.
I'm not even paying attention. I'm going to say this: I'd be able to read the Bible in 3 hours. I could give the people everything they need to do, and they'd still see kickoff. I would have a major problem with this religion where I can't watch the game.
It's too much church. They keep beating you over the head with it. It's going to quit, soak it in.
I can't even imagine going to a church service over an hour. As a Catholic, it's like once it hits the hour mark, you're like, oh my God. And we used to have this service at 5 o'clock, Father O'Connor. People would pack the church. It was 5 o'clock on a Saturday because he was renowned for doing it in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I love a quick guy, too.
And everyone was like, people would literally be outside the church. They would have to open up the doors so people can watch him from outside because it's like, quick, let's go to Father O'Connor.
He's
20
amazing.
minutes, in and out.
He's in again, out again, Finnegan. They used to call him. Unbelievable.
Awesome.
But what else do you got to say? Why couldn't you just wrap up everything in 20? First of all, God is good. That's all you need. Boom. We're out of here. You got it. You got the gist of it.
Well, you got the procession. You got the choir. They do a couple of songs. And then
I don't think they need. I don't need a choir.
And then
I've never been moved by any singing.
Are they doing Grateful Dead songs?
No, they do
yes, covers.
What? Why?
They do, they do like 2 or 3 songs, and then the praise team does 2 or 3 songs, and
the praise team.
There's a praise team, and
what is a praise team?
It's like there's a section of the worship called praise and worship service, and they're praise singers, so they sing 2 or 3 songs. Next thing you know, hour and a half goes by, you raise the offering, and then the preacher comes on.
I got to praise you like I do.
What's the difference between a praise team and the choir?
The praise team sounds to me like a pep club.
Oh,
the uniforms.
Yeah, I feel like they're just out there.
Well, the choir, they'll sing. They're more inclined to sing like hymns and everything, and the praise team, they're more inclined to. They'll do like the really big uplifting almost like cheerleaders in a way.
It's a pep club.
Okay,
that's the praise team. Give me a J.
J.
Give me an E.
E.
Give me a Zus.
Zus.
That's enough. Go ahead, sit down. Praise team. Praise team.
Praise team.
Oh, by the way, did you ever get cut from the praise team? That would be awful.
I know people that got cut from the praise team.
You ever take a radio to church to listen to the game?
I'd take I'll take the Inno because it has the score on the screen, and every once in a while I'll take a quick glance.
You're not a Jets fan. Does it mean you're not a Jets fan?
No, I'm the happiest guy in the world when there's the 4 o'clock game. I was like, at least I can see the Jets kickoff.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This may be why the Jets have done so awful for so long.
I mean, Earl, you have DVR, right? Or TiVo, or you have one of those things. Why wouldn't you just do that?
Not in my parents' house. He barely knows how to work the VCR.
Remember, he's got to go over there for...
Yeah, we go
sweet potato pie or whatever.
It's my only home-cooked meal during the week.
If God loved Earl, they would give him 8 o'clock games so maybe he could watch the game,
He really, he's not a fan. I'll give you this, though. You are more religious than anybody else here.
Yeah, hey, my father's a reverend. My mother's, she's like a mother of the church. She sings in the choir.
Your father's not a reverend unless he has his own church.
Well, you can be ordained.
I don't believe in those people, though. I could get ordained offline, but that doesn't really make me a real reverend.
How long has he been a reverend now? A week?
A week and a half.
Those are the people in church that give communion besides the priest, and nobody wants to go to them.
Lay people, we call them. That means nothing. Your mother would never go out to a lay person.
My mother would always push me to the father.
Get in the priest line. I don't care. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in a lay person. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, buddy? Hello, Mike.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, pal.
I was just going to ask if the praise team, if they do the 25-minute version of Whipping Post from the Fillmore.
I will tell you that. Then I would be going to his church.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Renee?
Let's bring the praise team up here. They're so good, don't you agree? Praise team, front of church. I don't know. This might have been the peak of American society, right here on the Lower East Side. Little band from Georgia. I let that mean woman make me a fool. She took all my money, wrecked my new car. Praise team. Now she's with one of my good time buddies, drinking at some crosstown bar. Sometimes I feel, I know, Greg. Sometimes I feel like I'm inside to the whipping post, tied to the whipping post, tied to the whipping post. Sometimes I feel like I'm dying. Dwayne? I know exactly how you feel. I'm trying to fight it off when I'm tied to the whipping post today. Go ahead, beat me. Don't mean shit. You can't hurt a scar. We're gonna break. Ron and Fez.
It's the Ron and Fez Show on XM 202.
Yeah, buddy, Ron and Fez Show. 866 Ron Zero Fez. You don't want to play the new Sleeve song, Earl?
At this particular moment, no.
Why?
I don't have it. No one's given it to me.
He mailed it to you, didn't he?
Yeah.
So how would he be giving it to you if he already mailed it to you?
No, but nobody told me that it was ready.
Is it on the sheet, Fez?
Yeah, I got it.
You read the sheets at all, Earl?
Yes. It's my fault.
So who let you down there?
No, that's my fault. It's my fault. I should have read the sheet.
So you don't read the sheets for the show?
No, I missed that part. It's my fault. Completely my fault.
What parts did you say?
Some of the news stories, but I didn't read. Again, it's my fault.
You don't worry about the news stories since you don't bring them up. You bring up what? The audio.
Yes. Again, totally my fault.
That's not a good thing for me, whether it's your fault or not. It doesn't matter. Here's Mikey Boy.
Hey, guys.
Mikey.
Just called up for the American Idol update, if you guys are up for that now.
Won't you, big brother, big brother?
It's a Big Brother update.
What's the story with this Vicky? She just has these big, beautiful cans. She lays them out on the table, and that's just it, huh? I'm becoming a big fan.
That's her thing.
Mikey Boy?
Yes.
I read today, I forget where, maybe it was on Drudge, that this American Idol is losing viewers week after week after week.
I don't know how it couldn't. I wasn't sort of came into this kind of kicking and screaming, but I'm just at this point really kind of bored by it. You've got 3 contestants left. None of it really stand out personality-wise. A couple of them have some really good singing talent, I think. But it's just not interesting. I'm not into it. I mean, the whole test of me doing this was to see if I really got into it. And I'm surprised I'm actually not getting into it because I've gotten into sort of dumb reality shows before and things like that. And I'm just kind of glad at this point that it's almost over.
It's hard to believe that any of these people would have a hit album.
It really is. Really is.
Now that the country girl from a couple of years ago that won, Eileen Warnos, she just won some big country awards last night.
Yeah, was
some kind of performer of the year or something. So, the show has worked in the past, but it really isn't working right now.
Well, I mean, I guess it seems like kind of hit and miss because I'm kind of going back and seeing who the winners were and things like that. But Taylor Hicks really hasn't done anything. I see the Fantasia who won. She's just doing Broadway. Has her album? Any album she's put out done anything?
She's put out one album that I think she's had #1 singles.
Oh, okay.
But the last album flopped. Is that right, Earl?
Yeah, the second album did not do well at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it seems kind of hit or miss, and sometimes you got people like Clay Aiken who didn't win and ends up doing better. So I don't know.
Right.
It just kind of shows the American public doesn't really know what they're doing when they're picking these things, which kind of worries me that, well, not worries me, I really don't care, but it seems to me that the person who's least deserving of winning this thing is the beatboxer Blake Lewis, but if he gets enough of the 14-year-old votes, he's going to win. He really can't sing near as well as the other two, but he just might win it. I do pick him for getting kicked off this week, though, because
he's my favorite because he does the beatbox, and that's what I'm into. I like a nice beat. Vicky says she has a new MySpace pic. Make sure you get that for me. I want to check that out. So, Mikey boy, you're thinking beatbox goes this week?
Yeah. Maybe I'm hoping more than anything else, but yeah, I think he might go because he kind of faltered last night. They picked up the Police song for him, and the big problem was you listen to the song and compare him to Sting, and he just he couldn't sing as well as Sting could, and I think he's the one who faltered the most last night. And if people actually pay attention to that, I think he'll get kicked off.
All right, here's how I would do if I was picking a song with him. I would either do "We Got the Beat" by the Go-Go's, and then he breaks off into a beatbox thing, or the beat goes on, and he does a beatbox thing. I would try to tie every song into beatbox.
Turn the beat around.
Turn the beat around would be fantastic.
Beat on the Brat.
Or what if he even calls his new album "Meet the Beatbox"?
Oh.
So it's kind of a Meet the Beatles, but better. It's modern. Very, very modern.
And it's just a whole bunch of pictures of him making stupid faces like he does on magazine covers.
Yeah.
Like the Beatles cover. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I think it would be fantastic.
Did you notice that, the one thing they did last night is they're supposed to pick their favorite songs, to do for the, it was the producers, the judges, and they pick their favorites. And Jordan Sparks actually didn't know who sang the song she picked as her favorite. She kind of screwed up because Simon was getting her for the fact that she'd done this song that was so old, and she was trying to correct him by saying, well, it wasn't Rose Royce from the 70s, and she completely confused the two of the songs that she had done.
All right, I didn't see this at all last night. I was too busy with the entire world caving in.
Oh.
But what songs did they do?
Let me think. She did a Rose Royce song that Randy Jackson picked for her. I don't remember what she did for the...
Wasn't she the Car Wash? Wasn't that
no,
Rose Royce?
Car Wash is a different one. I didn't know.
Car Wash!
But she picked I Who Have Nothing, which I think she's done before. I think she actually...
They've all done that song.
Yes, but
and it's terrible.
She did it with the British Invasion,
yeah.
Shirley Bassey version.
To me, that song should be from Man of La Mancha.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Because Simon got on her for doing a song that's like 60 years old.
Right.
And she was saying, well, no, because Rose Royce is, from the 70s, and she completely didn't even know that, she completely confused the two of the songs she'd done. And
I don't blame her.
Well. I mean, she just did a song that she did well before, I think, so that's all.
All right, so tonight they have a vote-off?
Yep.
And you're predicting beatbox goes?
Yep, and I'm going to be fast-forwarding on TiVo these awful filler vote-off shows.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Who are you picking?
I think beatbox stays, and it's a big upset. Melinda Doolittle goes home tonight. She goes, beatbox goes up against Jordan.
I'm going to say that beatbox stays and Mandisa goes home tonight, mainly because Mandisa does not look like an American Idol.
No, that's the thing. She also kind of doesn't look comfortable. She doesn't have really much stage presence, and her moves seem kind of choreographed and like she's trying to show she has stage presence.
Red and black, baby got back. Mandisa got a big black ass. Red and black, we got back.
I don't know. I think she could win. Now I'm thinking about when I hear that. You know what that song needs, though? Some beatbox. All right, who are you picking to win it all? No-Neck?
It's going to be Jordan Sparks. It's going to win the whole thing.
Beatbox. Call him by his real name. Call him by his stage name. Earl, who are you picking?
Everyone, they always love the gimmick guys. I think it's going to be the beatbox guy.
And who are you picking, Mikey?
I am actually picking Jordan, partially from an informal poll of my 6-year-old daughter's friends. They all love Jordan.
And she's no neck?
No, she's the big girl.
Oh, big girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go off the boards then, away from big girl. I thought her name was Mandisa, but I'm going to go with no neck. I think she's fantastic. She's shy, and you don't have to worry about a turtleneck with her. All right, hold on. Some people want to ask you questions, Mikey boy. You know what? It's time for you to take a little bit of heat about some. It's time for the judges to be judged this week on Idol. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Mikey boy, the reason she said the Rolls Royce thing is because they picked that song for her, which was like 30 years old, and so was the song that she picked on her own. So she was saying, like, you know, if the song I picked is too damn old, then why'd you give me a 30-year-old song to sing yourselves? I gotcha.
Now, who got mad at that? Big girl or no neck?
Big girl.
Yeah. I think they're trying to run her. I think they do not want a big girl to win this thing because they don't think they can sell the albums.
Her Rolls Royce song was Wishing on a Star.
I don't even know that song. Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
I'm thinking maybe Blake's album shouldn't be Meet the Beatbox. Maybe it should be Beat the Meatbox.
That would not be a bad idea. Big-ass prize closet for you. Here is, and it's time for Mikey Boy to take a little heat. We're judging the judges here on Idol. Aaron, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, this is Aaron. Good to have Fez back. Hey, I was wondering if you ever got tired of those bullshit and excuses. Seems like every time you ask him a question, he doesn't have an answer for it, or he tries to blame it on somebody else.
I don't want to blame Earl, but he was trying to blame it on the fact no one brought him Sleeve's brand new song. And I know for a fact that he did get it. He doesn't like to executive produce the show, though. And you're not good on a day that Lily's not here, right?
No, and first of all, I said it was my fault because I should have double checked with everyone, which I didn't. That was my fault.
You didn't say that. I'll go back and pull the tape as you're blaming other people. You didn't until I said it was on the list. So don't say that, Earl. It's another lie. It's the same kind of lie that made you leave Fez behind. All right, Mikey boy. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow because the vote off is tonight.
Yep.
All right, there you go. Thanks, Mikey.
Thanks. See you guys.
Won't you be brother, big brother? It's a Big Brother update.
There's only 3 people left in the American Idol house. We have over 600 cameras trained on them. Other than going to the bathroom, we know everything that the American Idol people are up to. Boy, it looks like it's Chinese food over at the factory today. And I like the fact of, you know what, give me chopsticks. I'm not going to be one of these people who uses a fork. I love it. Here is John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, how you guys doing?
Good.
Watching Idol last night with my 8-year-old son. I pretty much had to cover his eyes because Paula's shirt was unbuttoned pretty much down to her belly button. It was nice for me to look at, but he wasn't sure what was going on there.
God forbid a young man should catch a view of a breast. I didn't see it at all last night, Fez, but you've got to be disappointed because it seems like Paula's pulled out of this tailspin.
Oh, yeah, because, you know, last year I predicted Paula wouldn't make it to the finale show. She was getting so incoherent and just so nuts.
And then she had a very bad preseason. Remember, she was, a lot of sushi. We got any sushi at all over there, Earl?
No, we're fresh out, and Earl's on a little phone call.
Who's he talking to?
Somebody. I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Well, write it down and send it to me.
Okay.
So, yeah, Paula was, she's kind of like gotten coherent this season. And I don't care for that one bit.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know how she pulled out of this.
I don't know whether they changed her meds, took her off some meds.
And I think it's one of the reasons that the show's not doing as well. Yeah. You know, people like the fact that she's falling apart. People like that. And now they fake fights sometimes, where Ryan and Simon will act like they fight, but they're really not.
Yeah, it's totally faked. I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with this show this year.
Yeah.
Because I would say, they didn't get as good a group of singers.
We do have the Sleeve song.
Yep.
Well, they don't have as good as group of singers.
But I thought last year wasn't that great a group either.
Who won last year?
Taylor Hicks.
I like the guy that didn't have a hit last year. The guy I called young Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
No. All right, let's take a listen to the Sleeve song.
Hey there, this is Brian K. Vaughn. You know, my career was in that tanker. I went on Ron and Fez just to pitch my latest comic book. It was flopping. Weirdly, the next day I got a call from Damon Lindelhoff. He offered me a job writing for my favorite television show, Lost. It's crazy. I just wanted to say, it never would have happened without Ron and Fez. Ron and Fez powers activate. Ron and Fez powers activate. Ron and Fez powers activate. I'm a very busy man. I work in a skyscraper. I'd broken my leg and took a taxi to the office. Of course, when I got there, I had to call my wife. No cell phone. I'd left it in the taxi. I got a phone call from a very special man. Ron and Fez powers activate. Ron and Fez powers activate. Ron and Fez powers activate.
So this is my story. Ron and Fez were throwing a bar crawl in New York City, and I went down to have a few drinks. I had met a guy on ronfez.net called Flutertu, and we decided to meet up there. I was waiting around with Billy Staples when I heard someone call out, "F me boobs!" I turned around, and it was love at first sight.
Pussy power activated. Hey!
Now it's 6 years later, we're happily married, and it would never have happened without Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez powers activate. 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 It should be noted here that a paid professional voiceover artist was hired to impersonate Mr. Brian K. Vaughan, who yet himself, by electronic mail, approved of both the concept and the content of the story attributed to him, which story itself was entirely fictional. It should also be noted that I would be out of a job and on the street with no money or food without Ron and Fez. Ron and Fez powers activate. Ron and Fez powers activate. Ron and Fez powers activate. Ron and Fez powers activate.
Pussy power activated. Hey!
Earl tells me that we are going to be running some kind of, what is it called, Earl?
New disclaimer.
Now, what is the meaning of the word disclaimer? To say we don't take claim of something?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically going to outline what's the situation and then what's going to be on
and
now.
we play it how long?
It's going to air once an hour.
Once an hour?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, let me have it as soon as it comes in.
All right.
Now, is this something we can comment or not comment
on? Probably not, because it's going to be built into the... What? It's going to be built into...
What are you yelling at, Earl?
No, he's just making all these faces at me.
Why are you making faces, Dave? I need you to focus today, brother, not be a face maker.
I wasn't making faces at all.
Yeah. Here's Mark. Mark, you're on Ron and Fez. Mark, what can we do for you, buddy?
Hey, buddies. Welcome back, Fezzy.
Thanks, Mark. What can we do for you today?
I think Sanjaya has ruined Idol. The judges' opinions mean nothing anymore. It's just a teeny bopper contest. And I just really think that they're no longer even looking for the best singer. It's just a personality contest. And I get sick of every time the judges, they keep saying they want to see somebody new, and then they go back to, well, why don't you sound like Taylor Hicks, and why don't you sound like...
Mark, what are you, a child? Why do you care about this at all? Why would you care the show was always stupid from the beginning. Hey, Lee, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to know if Fezzy was going to be watching the Paula Abdul reality show on Bravo this summer.
I didn't even know we were getting one.
Oh, yeah. I saw the preview during workout last week. She's, like, walking down the street, and they're playing one of her songs in the background, and then she trips, and she kind of looks around, and they're like, watch Paula this summer.
Wow, what is it even supposed to be about?
It's about her life, but I can't figure out, like, if she's as straight and narrow as she has been on this season of American Idol, I can't imagine the show's going to be any fun at all. Unless they taped it before American Idol, and that's why she was so messed up.
I know, you only want out of her skull, bat crazy, Paula Abdul.
Exactly.
That's the only thing you want.
Pat, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
I called because Earl lied again, and I think I've got a solution to the problem. As a paying XM customer, I've got a list that I'm going to email you tomorrow of all the things that Earl has been lying about since I've been listening to you guys.
Oh, I'd love to get that.
I think we need to get a lie detector in there, and I think we're finally, as XM listeners, that's right, Earl, it's Pat in Buffalo. Go ahead and make fun of the Bills.
I will say this, Pat.
We deserve answers at this point.
I would rather that he took an Earl detector test, because anytime that he's talking anymore, it seems to be made up. Pitsy brought me something today, Fezzi. This is, according to FoxSports.com, this is the 10 most undeserving MVPs of all time. Now, this is MVP of a year, MVP of a series. What exactly for? Any at all?
I think it's just MVP in general.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you even think we need an MVP award? I mean, everybody gets paid a lot of money. You're supposed to go out there and do the job. Do we need to, at the end of the season, sit down and vote on something which is going to make at least 40-50% of the people, at the minimum, angry about the choice?
I think they use MVP as like a marketing tool, because then the next year they market their campaign around the MVP. So I think that's the only reason why they do it, is for money. It's not even for the accolade anymore.
All right, let's go over the top 10 all time. Here we go. This is the top 10. I'm bringing another list. Would you, David? Thank you very much. Top 10, and this is according to FoxSports.com.
Number 10 was Dirk Nowitzki, this year's NBA MVP.
Now, you had a problem with it. I didn't. I take it by the season. The guy had a very strong season. I don't think Dallas would have won as many games without him. But overall, I can see why people would be mad. You had a problem with this one, Fez?
Yeah, I thought with the collapse in the playoffs and stuff, I thought it was...
You vote before the playoffs, though.
Oh, okay. It's
every MVP is voted before the playoffs.
Yeah, I just thought, I always think an MVP should come from a winning team.
Well, you can't win more than, what do you win, 65 games? So it was a winning team all season, then they lost in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Number 9 was Barry Bonds, 1990 NL MVP.
What was the problem with that one?
I don't know. I thought he deserved it that year.
Yeah.
There was somebody else, I don't remember who it was, that was against him.
Who else?
Number 8 was Jose Theodore, 2002 NHL MVP.
Mm-hmm.
But that year, they really don't normally give it to goalies. That's the only reason why people are complaining about that.
Well, people always complain when a goalie will win an MVP or a pitcher wins an MVP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know what? I mean, that year, there wasn't that great of a team that had a person that stood out where they should have won the MVP.
It's tough to do, but again... is a goalie playing hockey like everybody else? Is it the same position as everybody else? Should there be like a goalie of the year? You know, that's the only way to go with this.
They do have the Conn Smythe trophy as well, which is just for the goalie.
Exactly, like the Cy Young.
Exactly.
Cy Young, a pitcher has their own MVP award. But I hate when they got to pick up the Cy Young and the MVP.
7 was Steve McNair and Peyton Manning winning NFL MVP co-honors in 2003.
I don't remember why that went down that way. What's the problem with that?
Well, in general, I don't like when they have co-MVPs. MVP is one person.
Someone's got to be the most valuable.
What if you couldn't put a piece of paper in between them, though?
I think it's subjective to begin with, so you should be able to pick one.
But what if you have a vote and it comes down to it's an exact tie vote?
Then, you know what? Then they need to vote again, because then somebody will change their vote on it.
Which one should have won that year?
I think Peyton Manning should have won.
Even though he didn't go to the playoffs, which is the same thing. You guys have a problem with Dirk. He at that point, didn't win in the playoffs. Here's Paul. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
1867, buddies.
Yeah, my brother. What's happening?
Just a quick correction, Dave. The most valuable goalie is the Vezina. The Conn Smythe is for the most valuable player in the playoffs. But
okay.
Anyway, I just think they should do the MVP after the playoffs, because it's who really cares about the regular season if they don't do anything in the playoffs? Like if you look at Dirk this year, I mean, it doesn't matter.
You have an MVP in each playoff series, though, and you have an MVP in the playoff games, and that's plenty. That is an entirely different thing. Like, let's suppose somebody just has an amazing playoffs. They end up batting .410. But during the year, they batted .286. Who is the MVP of the year? A guy who went out there and hit .380 over 160 games?
Right.
Or a guy who managed to hit .380 over 16 to 18 games? They're two different MVPs.
Yeah, I mean, you could never picture David Eckstein winning the MVP of baseball, but he was the World Series MVP, and that's what makes maybe the postseason so cool.
Anybody can get hot. You take Fez's year, the Buccaneers. A no-name wins the MVP in a team full of, household names. The guy had the best game. He picked off a couple of really important passes. He deserved the MVP. Did he have anything to do with their season? You could argue no. You could argue they would have got there and maybe even won the game without him.
Right.
But he was still MVP. Here is Carl. Carl, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I just want to say in 1960, the World Series MVP went to a losing pitcher on the Yankees, Bobby Richardson.
All right, there's a really good point. What happens when you do this? You have the MVP award. A guy ends up hitting 5 home runs in a World Series. He bats .380, but he played for the losing team. Who do you vote for? Does the MVP always have to be from a winning team?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, how can you lose and be the most valuable player?
Because you were the most valuable player in that series.
But if you're the most valuable for your team should be doing something.
You got 9 players on the team. Earl, where are you on this one?
I remember Barry Bonds in 2002 had a great World Series. Should have won the MVP. I think he had 6 home runs in the series alone. He had a great series. The team lost. It wasn't his fault. But he was clearly the most dominant player of that series.
But it's not most dominant player. And maybe
It's the most valuable player. Who would have been the most valuable player out there?
But if your team doesn't win, you're of no value.
So let's just say, no matter what, there's no value. I mean, suppose you take it to 7 games, and this is a team that should have been swept. You actually went out and won 3 games for your team.
But you should have then performed even better to get that 7th game.
You're doing everything you can do to keep this a Yankee trophy. I wanted to start and call it the most valuable Yankee. Ted, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what did Cy Young have to play for? Nothing to look forward to for that guy.
Cy Young had 511 career victories.
But he didn't have his own trophy to win.
Yeah, he didn't win any trophies at all in those days. It was only after Cy was gone did they name the trophy after him.
Yeah, of course.
Here is Mark. Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. You guys have explained it all. I'm so against MVP. It's counterproductive. I mean, very rarely does the best person win the World Series or win the Super Bowl. I mean, it's a team sport.
So what's your point? It's only the team that matters?
Yeah, well, is it? I mean,
there's also MVPs for teams.
Well, the thing is, it's a team sport. It's not an individual sport. I could see an MVP for track and field.
All right, well, let's do this then. Let's pay everybody out there the same amount of money, since no one player is more valuable than the other.
So you're saying that one person can get you to the World Series?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. One person can turn a very good team into a great team, particularly in some sports like basketball, baseball. If you got a cleanup guy, it affects what happens before his at bat, after his at bat. You're forcing the other team to change their strategy. If you suddenly a soccer team with one guy is all the difference in the world.
Look at the Yankees team that was swept in 1976 by the Reds and then won the championship convincingly in 77. What's the difference?
Straw.
Reggie Jackson.
The straw that
stirs the drink. Mr. October.
Yeah, Rocktober. He now wants to be called Rocktober. And he also wants to be called Mandatory Metallica. All right, so where are you on this MVP thing, Pitsy?
I'm just totally upset that the fact that they give him anymore. It's retarded.
You don't think they should give him out
because
at all?
Jeff Suppan, obviously, he was the reason why the Mets lost. But if the Mets won, they would have given it to Andy Chavez just for making that one catch because he saved the series. So it doesn't really have any meaning at all.
It's interesting that you bring that up because that was the gigantic catch you that series.
But that's a very bleak outlook.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to recognize great achievements made by these guys. And it's a nice thing, and it's something that immortalizes that guy's contribution.
Let's go last year's MVP in the Super Bowl. Do you guys remember who MVP was?
It was Peyton.
And what kind of game did he have? Shite.
Yeah.
He did not have a great Peyton game. He got the MVP because he's Peyton Manning. There's no way he deserved it last year.
Right. Well, that's sometimes the superstars get it.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, right? The superstars get it.
In football.
Yeah.
In baseball, it's weird, but there's a lot of...
Well, you can get hot in baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, unlike other things, there's nothing to stop the individual in baseball. You could be batting eighth, you get hot, everyone's forced to look over and say, he's hot. It's not like they can have plays that you're not part of.
Right.
Or suddenly you make, 6 circus catches. But, you can be in a football thing, you're a wide receiver, they just are not calling your number, you can't be the MVP.
Yeah.
In baseball, you do have the opportunity for individual achievement.
I remember one of the Blue Jays years, their catcher, Pat, I can't remember his
From
last name.
Pat Borders.
Pat Borders. How many people remember the name Pat Borders? He's from now on a World Series MVP for the rest of his life.
I named my kid Pat Borders Bennington, so what do you mean how many people remember? Tom, you're Ron and Fez.
Hey, I think it's all about semantics. I mean, you got MVP in European football and soccer. They just call it man of the match. There's always going to be that one player that stands out. So just call it man of the match.
What is different between man of the match and MVP? They just have different words over there. Doesn't even make sense.
Why can't you have an MOP, most outstanding player?
What's the difference?
The difference is...
Then everybody would be going, why wasn't I the mop? Let me go to Mark on line 7. Thanks, Johnny. Take your thumb off of it, Johnny. Mark, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, what about, in college ball? It seems like it's always the quarterback that wins the Heisman Trophy. I know it's
not at all. Many times, and probably I would go so far to say most of the time, it's a halfback in college. Mm-hmm. Because a halfback can dominate college football in a way that is rare that he can dominate professional football.
I think I've noticed it's quarterbacks, but you might be right. I don't know. It might be something to look up.
No, if you go back and look at it, all the really famous Heisman Trophy winners have always been halfbacks. Look at the way the thing is shaped. It looks like a halfback. It's not that guy throwing a pass.
Yeah, and it seems like the Heisman trophies who are running backs go on to better careers.
Than the quarterback?
Like OJ. I mean, think of
You have a hard time knowing whether a guy's going to be a professional quarterback or not. He has to have really different skills than he had in college.
Right, whereas a running back, their physicality, it's there, it'll translate.
But even a guy like Chuck Foreman, who won back-to-back MVPs, he wasn't a really great NFL running
There's been a lot of guys like that, too. Archie Griffith, it goes on and on. Guys that really did not translate. But didn't, Pat Sullivan win the MVP as a quarterback? I mean, there's been a lot of guys. That's why I didn't think this kid from USC a couple years ago was going to be a great pro quarterback.
Matt Leinart with the Cardinals.
I didn't think he had the arm for it. Because a lot of the passes he threw in college were just rainbows. I mean, a whole their attack was, I'm going to drop back, throw the ball, and then you get under it and outrun everybody. That was their big USC attack.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's definitely moving over. It looks like he's becoming a decent pro.
Yeah, he could be decent, but I still think he still reminds me of that Scott Mitchell of the Lions, who was big, 6'6", lefty, and was mediocre. And would have great games and then just be mediocre for the rest of the season. I'm not sure. I think the jury's still out on Leinart.
I also think that's because he was under Carson Palmer, too, and Carson Palmer is so amazing that he learned from him how to be a quarterback. Because he wasn't really a good quarterback until he learned from Carson Palmer.
Hey, here is Fritz. Fritz, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, yeah, they frequently get MVPs wrong, especially in the playoffs. I mean, do you remember the year the Red Sox won the World Series? It went to Manny Ramirez, but Keith Falk is really the most valuable player for that team. It happens all the time.
No, I agree with you. It does happen quite a bit. Anybody can jump in here, too, if I'm doing other stuff. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here is Stefano. Stefano, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yo, fellas, I got one that's going to appeal to the masses out there. 2006 FIFA World Cup and Finals MVP. They gave it to Zinedine Zidane, the guy that headbutted the Italian to the ground. It should have been given to Gianluigi Buffon, the goalie, or the defender, Fabio Cannavaro. Are you guys with me on this?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I agree. I agree totally, because I think that was more of a send-off present for him, because he was retiring and he wasn't playing anymore, so that's the only reason why they gave it to him, even though he won 3 World Player of the Years already.
I disagree. I think in a tournament setting, you're usually recognizing the best guy for that tournament. Like the NCAA, tournament player isn't always from the winning team. It's just a bit of a different animal.
Yeah, the tournament is a strange way to go. Here is Corey. Corey, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, what's going on? I just wanted to say that the MVP is never going to go away in sports. The reason is because it's one of the most easily debatable. It's fun to debate. It grabs headlines, and it's never going to go away.
Even if they don't give it out officially, we would turn around and argue about it ourselves. We would do that the whole entire time.
And MVPs are important. I mean, I think some guys, their whole career, is made or broke by MVPs.
We'll be right back. Ron and Fez Show.
Ron Bennington, Fez Watley, The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
Ron and Fez Show. Hey, Mark, you're on the Ron and Fez Show. How are you, pal? Go ahead, Mark, you're on the air.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was just thinking about the Super Bowl when Doug Williams won. I think Timmy Smith should have won that award because he broke the rushing record for the Super Bowl, and Doug Williams was going to win the award regardless if he broke his leg in the first play of the game.
Not necessarily. Doug Williams doesn't have that first half. I mean, Doug Williams has the first half and the whole thing is over, so you're able to put the ball on the ground how many times in the second half. It's an entirely different story. Ron and Fez Show, 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Vic said she'd show her bra if Desi does. No chance of that happening, though.
Oh.
Not with the Diz.
No?
Not with the Diz. Earl, did you get this disclaimer, as you call it?
No, not yet.
When is it supposed to be in by?
It's supposed to be in by 3 p.m.
You got problems with your mic again, young man. Do you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit.
You not want to do this anymore?
I totally want to do this.
Not picking up on that. All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. We're all excited because there's a big disclaimer coming up. We've never had a disclaimer on our show before.
No, it seems fun.
Who called you with it, Earl?
Don.
All right. I'll just start and read out my own disclaimers. I have nothing to do with Don Wiki Wicklin. No matter what happens, he's on his own. Don Wiki Wicklin, his disclaimers do not reflect the Ron and Fez Show, nor our sponsors or friends. Dave, you're all settled down now? You're okay with your chick?
Yeah, you were a
little jealous earlier, but it's all right now?
Yeah, it's I'm doing better.
Did you say she's cooking for you now?
Yes, she is.
What's the worst thing she's cooked so far?
The worst thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess there was this turkey burger disaster.
Yeah, I don't play those games.
I like a good old-fashioned hamburger.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a turkey burger. That is a lie.
It's
a turkey sandwich.
Yeah,
Just call it a burger, because we use the name burgers in this thing, meaning hamburger. So, turkey burger, you're taking one food, shaping it like another. I'll throw the whole tofu burger. That thing is a lie.
What are you trying to fool?
It's not real. Now, is tofu supposed to be the best thing in the world for you?
Yeah, it's supposed to be totally good.
Why do I find it inedible? I do not find myself ever craving tofu or wanting tofu?
Because it has a texture to it that is like nothing we've ever been told to eat before. It's weird, it's spongy, it's slimy.
I'm going to tell you something. That sounds like one of my favorite things to eat, and I can't argue with that one. Do you go by texture on your foods?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not taste at all?
Texture more than taste.
Interesting.
Because if it's too milky or loose or slimy, it's going to get to me.
You like milk, so why would milky be a problem?
If it's supposed to be a solid. If something is too moist.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Hey Chris, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey Dave, I was wondering if you helped Casey clean up after dinner.
Oh, very good one, yeah.
I've attempted, but she like a real wonderful person says, no, I got the dishes. I got them. And I say, please, let me do something. Let me at least dry.
Yeah.
You know, I like to have a little tag team where she does the dishes and then I dry them, but she won't even let me do that. She's a fucking saint, she is.
She is. Well, Jews don't have saints, but thank you. Mike Haka says he doesn't trust the soybean. We'll never have soybean.
Right.
Don't blame him. I don't. But, have you guys ever tried that Silk soy milk?
Yeah, I have.
Fantastic.
Is it good? I've never tried it.
It's wonderful.
I don't like it. I feel like I can taste some kind of, there's seeds in it or something like that.
No, there's no seeds in it. I don't know where you would get that from. You might not like it because you run into it's not the same texture as milk. And I know you're now telling us that you are a texture freak. Doug, you're on Ron and Fez.
Dog.
What can we do for you, buddy?
Hey, if it's a hamburger, why is it not made out of ham?
It's a very interesting question. It's come out from time to time, but there is no such thing as a ham burger. Here's the interesting thing. That ham that's made like that sometimes gets called ham steak, and it can't be a steak because that's back to cattle, which is a burger.
Wow.
So we really do have some stupid names for our foods. We don't know where we're going with it.
Well, cow burger is good. It's not too late to change.
No, cow, no one would ever refers to that as cow. It's interesting what foods that we go, this is what it actually is. Like we can say it's chicken.
Yeah.
And no one gets freaked out thinking this is a chicken. But we will never say this is cow. We will have a million different, it's a T-bone, it's a filet. It's everything but calling it a cow.
Well, we don't respect birds very much, I think. Humans, we find them to be like idiots. They're the idiots of the animal world, birds.
Okay.
Because they have very small brains.
All right, so let's go through this. If you eat pig, you never call it that. You could call it bacon. You could call it sausage. You'll call it pork.
Right.
Chops, ribs. I mean, we will use up the pig. Yet no one will ever say I'm having pig.
Right.
But we do eat duck. We eat pheasant. We will say the names of
turkey.
The names of every single bird.
Yeah, we look down on them.
Yeah.
They're...
But what do you think the two staples are meat-wise? It's always cow and pig, right? I mean, the amount of lamb that you eat is very, very rare.
I would say, actually... Yeah, I guess maybe cow and pig. Chicken is very close.
Now, but notice this. We don't eat deer, we eat venison. We go out of our way. I think that we're a little more nervous about saying exactly what mammal that we're eating.
Yeah, because mammals have more personality.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
There's the connection there.
Right. I mean, that's...
So what, though? It doesn't matter to me. It wouldn't ruin it for me. I'll say I eat buffalo, and I don't sit there crying about... Tatanka, the baby buffalo, doesn't bother me at all. I was watching Extras the other night, and they brought up what is the largest animal that you could kick to death? And I thought that was fairly interesting. Because remember, there's some animals that would beat you if you tried to kick them to death.
Right.
So you got to kick something large. What about for you, Fez?
I think I could kick a turkey to death.
Nothing bigger than a turkey? That's as big as you would go? Earl, what about you?
For me, it would probably be a dog.
You couldn't kick anything bigger than a dog?
Probably not bigger than a dog.
And now this might be cheating by me saying this, but I honestly think if I had the time, I could kick a giraffe to death.
Oh.
They do not fight back. The legs, I'd shatter them. I'd break them. Then once I get them down, and I would have to, take it to the ground because I don't know whether you've ever been up next to a giraffe. They're thick.
Right.
And they almost have a head like a little horse up there.
Yeah, they do have stupid little heads.
But it's it's tiny compared to the rest of the body. I mean, the thing that kills you when you're next to a giraffe is how strong the neck is. It's not a stack of dimes. It goes on like a body for a long time, and then the head is pretty small compared to the rest of it. I'd kick out its legs, and once it went down, I'd have to kick its little head. But I do think I could kick a giraffe to death. I don't have to worry about it hurting me. Pitsy, have you thought about this at all?
Yeah, I think I could kick a seal to death, even though they're going to be hard to catch and it's going to be slippery.
Seal will bite you like a dog, though.
Yeah, that's why you need to get it from behind.
Yeah. So, I mean, my thing is, I don't think a giraffe will ever beat me. And by the way, I'm going in a fenced-in area. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that I could go out and kick a giraffe to death in Africa. I need it fenced in. Not too tight. I mean, it gets a chance to run around a little bit. But I would have the opportunity to go with it.
Well, the thing about your giraffe is their neck is very exposed. And I think that's an advantage for you.
Yeah, but I got to get up awful high to kick it.
Well, I was thinking maybe if you kicked it like once, maybe in the belly, and then he gets over it.
You're not going to kick it in the belly. I need to break a leg to get it down.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to try to kick the neck to death. I'm going to have to go up for a headshot. But your way of acting like if I would come swinging in and then be able to kick it. Yeah, maybe I'd have a chance, but it seems exhausting.
But if he comes running at you, you can maybe do like a drop toe hold and then just get him down.
No, kicking. It's a straight kick.
No, I understand,
No, that's cheating. That's using a wrestling move to get somebody in there, and that's completely cheating. Why not go like this? Oh, all right, I'll take a buzzsaw, chop off its legs, and then kick it to death. Well, then forget it. I'll take on just about any animal.
You know who are very overrated?
By the way, I don't think I'm going to get beat in this.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
But you know who I think is very overrated and who I definitely could kick to death is a hippopotamus.
You're out of your mind, my friend.
I am not.
No way.
First of all, hippos kill more people every year than lions.
But
hippos are considered incredibly dangerous.
Yes, but not very alert, I don't think. And they'd be eating some swamp food. I kick them right in the stomach.
You're out of your mind.
Terrible balance.
I don't know what kind of damage you think you could do to a hippo's gut.
First of all, I think the thing is going to turn on you and kill you. I need somebody to back me up on this because I've read this before. Hippos kill more, I believe, than any other animal in Africa. They are feared.
Right.
Feared.
But not great balance.
Based on what? You're not going to knock it over.
Oh, yeah.
It's low to the ground, wide to the road.
Not very athletic. That's what I'm going by. A hippo's like the fat kid who used to get picked on. And I'm going to kick the hell out of that son of a bitch.
See, besides getting eaten by it, attacked by it, I don't think you're getting through that tough girth.
Here's Matty. You're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, brother? I could probably dominate an ostrich just because of its inquisitive nature. Once he leans that neck in, I could probably snap that with a roundhouse.
No, because an ostrich kicks back. You could actually lose that fight. You want to fight something that really isn't going to be able to take you down. Sean, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, the hippo definitely kills more people in Africa because where it lives by fresh water.
Right.
Rivers and lakes, and there's no official stat, but there's tons of boating accidents because they fall asleep and knock boats over.
And what do? They bite the people once they get them in the water?
I think they thrash them to death and they drown them too. It's just
good.
It's just a combination of things. So it's you have a boat at night.
Well, you have to do this in the natural habitat.
That's fine.
You're going to be in the water and kick it?
Hell yeah.
Have you ever tried to kick anybody underwater? You're getting nothing.
It's not easy, but I'll train. And I'm glad that guy told me. Now I have some moral incentive.
Weeks, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Just want to agree with you that Dave's are mental for trying to kick hippopotamus.
Mental.
They are extremely dangerous. They're not alert, like he's saying. They're quite quick-moving when they get going with thrash Dave alive.
I wouldn't even mind getting some YouTube hippo attacks, which I've never seen one. But I need to know how these things attack like this, how they fight. All right, here comes Pepper Hicks. He's going to have some information for us. Thank you, Pepper. It's exactly what I needed.
Yeah, the hippo can go so many different ways with the way it's going to kill somebody.
Africans regard hippos as the continent's most dangerous animal. although accurate numbers are hard to come by. Hippos kill more people each year than lions, elephants, buffaloes, leopards, and rhinos combined. Did I say leopards twice?
No.
Okay. Hippopods are led by dominant males, which weigh 6,000 pounds or more. It's like kicking a car to death. Females will live between 3,500 and 4,500. Well, here's interesting. What do you think the name hippopotamus means? The Greeks named it.
I have no idea.
River horse. That's the river horse.
Boy, they were a little off with that.
Oh, no, I think it's perfect. That's the horse of the river. Spends most of the day in the water dozing.
See?
At night, hippos emerge and eat 100 pounds of vegetation and children. Hippos can be testy and brutal when it comes to defending their territory and their young. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. There is always going to be a baby that it thinks you're trying to get to. Hippos have trampled or gored people who strayed too near, dragged them into lakes, tipped over their boats, and bitten off their heads.
Okay, well, biting off their head. And you just said that they doze a lot in the daytime, so I get an afternoon game.
Those things are far underwater. You're not going to get it. They sleep like 12 feet under. When it comes out is when it's all happening. Of course, I can kick anything to death while it's sleeping. It's cheating. Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I miss Fez. I would love to kick a fucking redhead to death.
All right, that's Dave. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, I'm sorry, man. There's no way you could take a giraffe. They're like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the animal kingdom. Lions don't even fuck with giraffes, dude. I'm sorry.
What is the problem?
Those humongous legs will huge power and leverage. They'll just knock your head off.
I've never heard of a giraffe attacking anything. Don't tell me I've never seen lions eating giraffe meat. I've seen it time and time again. I've found their carcasses.
Okay, well, you traveled more than I have. I've seen crocodiles go after them because crocodiles are fearless, but lions...
Oh, and I'm filled with fear.
Easier.
All I'm saying is this. I'm going to break its legs with a kick. Then when it's down, I'm going to kick it in that tiny head. And again, I said I needed time. I didn't say I could beat one in 8 minutes. It's going to take a while.
Well, you've never...
I look at a hippo skull. This is the skull that you're trying to kick.
I'm not going to try and... I'm not going for a jaw kick.
Look at those teeth.
Mr. B.
They are going to bite right through you.
That is the river horse.
I am going to kick him right over onto the ground, and then when he's on his back...
You are not going to kick over something
kick him in the belly.
That's 6,000 pounds. It doesn't happen. Why don't you go out and try to kick a car over? If I see you kick a car over, I'm going to say that you could kill a hippo. Why are there pictures of your chick with my caca every time I turn around?
I don't know, and I don't care for it.
That looks romantic. He looks better with her than you do.
Okay.
But you look better with Earl than anyone else. Salt and pepper, I like to call you. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Dave, I just want to tell you that hippopotamuses, not only are they dangerous to humans, but lions and crocodiles know not to fuck with them. If a crocodile tries to attack them, will actually get snapped in half by that huge jaw.
That's just more of an indictment on lions. It just goes to show you that they're not all that. That they're not the kings of the jungle. I don't think it has anything to do with us.
Here's Pete. Pete, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, I grew up in South Africa.
Me too.
And the reason why so many people get killed by these hippos, they drink the local beer, and the hippos graze at night. And these people go out at night, and then about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, when they walk back home, that's when they cross the path with these hippos, and that's when they get killed. That's the big reason.
So you're saying the main reason that they beat us in fights is because they're drunk? We're drunk.
Exactly. The native blacks, the Zulus and the Xhosas, they go out drinking on his buddy's farm. He walks back home at 5 in the morning, and that's when he gets killed. That's when the hippos are out there grazing.
All right, thank you. Here is JT. JT, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, boys? Hey, Ronnie, I got to agree with you and disagree with that last caller. I believe you can kick a freaking giraffe to death. Giraffe can't kick you. Its legs are too straight. They don't ever fucking bend.
Well, here's the thing about a giraffe. A giraffe is like a horse with a neck problem. It seems like you're next to a big horse, and then the neck takes off, so you're like, this has got to be something else. Then you get up to the top and you're dealing with a horse again. It is the weirdest fucking animal we ever had. And, well, there she is with Solera. So people are like, well, the reason why is because they were stretching so much that their necks grew. And I'm over like, over what period of time? How long do you got to stretch before your children are born with a 12-foot neck?
And why were trees so tall back then? I mean, there wasn't.
They weren't tall for anyone else. Other people were able to eat.
There wasn't any shrubs back then.
And forget that. Just eat some grass. Lean over and eat the grass.
That's what I don't understand about evolution. If, let's say, the giraffe's long neck is because he had to keep reaching higher and higher for leaves. All right, why didn't other animals have that same problem and their necks get straight? Why didn't evolution just go straight across the board?
Well, it does for some things. Like all animals have legs. They need to walk. Right?
Right.
So you can see that. They all developed their own legs. But other animals weren't eating the tops of these trees for whatever reason. But I am not sure of that at all anyway. But it's not like we all don't have things that we need.
Yeah.
Like all fish get gills, all mammals get lungs. So yeah, we all do that. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I have to go with a crocodile or alligator, but you have to have a plan and sneak up on them when their mouths are closed, step on his mouth, and then kick him or smash his head with your other foot. And I
don't think you can do it.
Boot.
Because it's too big of a risk. There are other animals out there to kick to death that aren't going to bite you. And again,
you're the master, though.
I don't want anybody to get the idea that we're a bunch of people who go around kicking animals. This is an experiment that we got from Ricky Gervais. It's a philosophical question. You don't do these things. You just wonder to yourself, if I had to, what's the biggest animal I could kick to death? For instance, I know I could kick a shark to death if I got it up on a dock. But in the water, I'm never going to kick a shark to death forever. Probably not even if I had him in 2 feet of water. I really need him up on a dock. I'm probably up there for a good 2-3 hours. I need him to dry out a little bit and not feel so fighty. And the first thing I do is kick his eyes out, and then I go on from there.
Well, you're taking a lot of precautions.
I do what I have to do. I mean, the fact that I'm going to fight a smart fight doesn't make me a coward. Makes me a thinker.
It doesn't seem like much of a challenge, though.
You're trying to kick a hippo over. That's not going to happen in a million years.
Seems like a kick to the gill on a shark would be pretty devastating. I mean, I know it's up on the dock and it's not breathing anyway, but it's such a loose part. It's almost like an entranceway already open.
You're going to be kicking you're not going to get one kick a shark to death. Not a great way. You're going to be kicking all day long.
You could get your foot caught in the gill.
Yeah, I would not go for the gill either.
That would be risky.
I'm looking for a headshot, maybe something up above the eye after I get done kicking the eyes out. But also, you're really going to be stretching for a long time before you get into something like this. Because you're going to be kicking in a manner that you've never kicked before. You're going to have to say, today I'm showing up to work. Today I am the king of kick.
Maybe you could get trained by a professional soccer player or something. Just repetitive kicking.
Here's Todd. Todd, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Hey, how about a manatee, man? Pretty docile.
I'd wrap them up in Santa Fe. Manatee, big enough. You get it on a dock, you're going to kick it to death. You're not going to kick something to death underwater. I don't think most of you guys have ever tried to kick anybody in a pool. You really don't come out well with this.
The manatee, I think, again, tough hide. I would wonder, if you have trouble getting through as you're kicking.
Headshot.
Yeah.
You're not going to try to, kick a spleen. Anything that you're really going to probably be able to do is going to be headshot. Gary, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ryan, listen, you got me a little concerned, bud. Just want to give you a little heads up. The zebra can be disemboweled by a giraffe. Now, I'm concerned about you.
All right, hold on. I didn't know zebras kick back. I didn't know giraffes kick back.
Oh, giraffes, that's their main defense mechanism.
Forget it, I'm out. I had no idea. I thought they were leaf eaters. I went out of my way, unlike to try to pick a leaf eater. I didn't know they were kickers.
They are kickers, bud. You're in big trouble.
No, anytime that you...
Answer your phone. Who is it?
I don't know. I don't recognize the number.
Hey, Breezy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I like to kick a three-toed sloth to death. They're really slow.
Thanks. Here is Blaine. Blaine, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ron, when you're preparing for one of these fights, you watch any film on them, or?
Oh, I definitely would. I would want to know the way they dealt with predators, particularly kicking predators. What are their defenses? Are they able to defend themselves? I would love to fight something that couldn't defend himself. Like, obviously, I would love to kick a lion to death. It would be a baby lion, a newborn, but I wouldn't tell that later. I would just say, hey, I'd be drinking in a bar and go, hey, I ever tell you about the time I kicked a lion to death? And as the women, gather around and be like, yeah, it was scary, but I just kept kicking till someone bastard yells, how old was it? And that'll get me furious, because then I'll bust it. Here's Lindsay. Lindsay, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, I just want to let Dave know that a hippo is actually very agile in the water, so kicking a hippo to death in the water is a bad idea.
It's not going to happen. You can't kick a shad to death in the water.
Hey, why does it have to be in the water?
No, it doesn't. But you're the one who said you would, because it was dozing.
Right, well...
You don't even know the things that you say.
No, I do. But the thing is, if I could get him up onto dry land, then boom, I still have a chance.
Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I kick a panda to death.
Panda.
I think a panda will fight back. I think a panda will come back after you.
Never heard of a panda in a fight before. Have you?
Yeah,
I thought I had. I thought they get kind of nasty.
Well, who do they fight?
Monkeys.
A panda and a monkey fight you've seen?
Yeah.
I want to see this.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
No, I saw it.
I don't even think they live near each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Pandas live in China, right?
Yes.
What monkeys are in China?
Oh, there's some Chinese monkeys there.
Stop it. Earl, do you know about this? Pandas ever have fights?
I've always seen them as very passive and very cuddly.
Like big teddy bears.
Yeah, and I've never seen them aggressive to where, you never heard of anybody getting clawed to death by a panda.
Yeah. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
I think I'd kick an executive to death.
Ron Zero Fez, age 66, Ron Zero Fez. Here are Blake. Here's Blake. Blake, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man, I saw this Discovery Channel thing where these guys were kayaking, and they went over to these hippos to try to pet them. The hippo grabbed this guy. He was all the way in his mouth, ripped off his leg and his arm, and he was lucky to get away, man.
Did he have the opportunity to kick?
No. I mean, his leg was all the way in his mouth.
If you go there attempting to pet, you deserve to what happens to you. But if the guy went over and kicked, missed, then was attacked, I'd like, hey, brother, you did your best. You came up short, but you did your best. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yo, Ronnie, they just, on last Tuesday, couple of kids in Lithuania were climbing into a giraffe cage, and the 1.3-ton animal flew into a rage and attacked the 3 student trespassers, putting one in the hospital. I'm worried about you.
Yeah, I might be pulling out of the giraffe thing. I honestly did not know. I thought they would just take it. I thought they would take the beat down, and it would just be a matter of, catching it, kicking it. I thought that was going to be the problem.
You've never seen footage of a giraffe turning back around and engaging in a fight at all.
And yet you told me you've seen this with a panda, and I know you haven't. I know you and Dave are lying about the panda fights.
No, I haven't seen it, but I've definitely heard of it. Absolutely.
Flea Man, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yep, I think I could kick a penguin to death pretty
Wait a
easy.
minute, is this Flea?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to be 21 to call, particularly now.
Do I have to be 21 to beat up?
Yes, I'm sorry, Flea. I can't have you on here. And also, I'd like to get something out there. You got to be 21 to post from now on. Yeah. What are the giant panda's natural enemies? You said monkeys.
Yes.
No.
Really?
The only predators of adult pandas seem to be humans. So, occasionally the cubs are attacked by jackals, leopards, but a leopard can actually beat a giant panda. But overall, they only seem to be attacked by humans. So, as far as I know, we don't have any thing of a panda in a fight. And since there's so few of them, no one's going to let anything attack a panda now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing we would have to be able to look for is a panda attacking a zookeeper.
All right, I wouldn't mind saying that. A panda attacking a zookeeper. But I need to see it before I'm going to believe it. Again, I didn't know that giraffes could fight. My hand to God. And I am pulled out of that. I've signed 0 contracts. And I'm going to fight something else now.
That's a shame. How about
what
like
am I going to fight? I'm going to fight a baby chick. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight a baby chick now. I had to come all the way back.
That seems all the way down, though.
Doesn't it?
It does.
Disappointment. That's what took me there. Disappointment. I'm disappointed today. All right, Ron and Fez Show, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Earl, are we ready with the disclaimer?
Nope, not in yet. Not done yet.
I thought we were supposed to have it before we went off the air today.
I'm looking for it now, and it's still not there.
Make a call. Instead of hoping for magic, ask if the guys are going to get a chance to hear it. How long before Satellite of Love?
We have to just under 2 minutes.
So you got under 2 minutes to make this happen. Here's Ray. Ray, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, what kind of shoes you wearing? You wearing the cowboy boots or what?
I'm going steel tip construction boots. Same as I always do. I steel tip, and I don't worry about a thing. I have never felt as comfortable in my life as with steel tip boots. It just feels like nothing can go wrong, and if you need to, you're a kicker.
Well, there's certainly a big force around your foot, but I don't think they're very flexible.
Yeah, but if anything falls on you, you're more than safe. It's the steel tip that saves you. Here's Greg. Greg, you're on Ron and Fez.
How about a big purple dinosaur named Barney?
I don't know how you got through. Bobby, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yes, sir.
What about a flamingo? They've always got the one leg up in the air. You can just kick it out from under him and start stomping on him.
Well, yeah, flamingo would be easy enough. Flamingo, which they say are pink from the shrimp that they eat.
Oh, I can't believe that.
That's what they say when you're in Florida.
I think shrimp have more of a white color to them anyway.
Ever seen a flamingo outside of captivity?
No.
Flamingos are more white outside of captivity.
Huh.
Then you see them at places like all those drive-by Florida places. They feed them shrimp. They all turn pink for some reason.
Oh, that's weird.
I know. Very weird. Animals, there's nothing weirder. I could sit and look at animals forever. I'm an animal lover. That's why this thing of which is the biggest one you can kick to death actually got to me a little bit. Earl, what do you got for us?
Still no word on it. I mean, I called Don. He's making a call over to D.C. and seeing what the deal is with this.
All right. So we're supposed to get a disclaimer about what's going on with everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So make sure you stay tuned. It'll be sometime. And then Donna said it'll be early next week, so we're not replaying the same show over and over and over. We'll have some best ofs that we're able to part in here, right?
Yes.
When will that start by?
That could start as early as Friday, but
probably Monday?
Probably Monday.
Okay. So always just say Monday. And that way if it comes on Friday, it's all fun and exciting and everybody's all happy. Promise less, deliver more, Earl.
Yes.
The Earl Douglas story. Yours is promise more, blame more.
Well, I blame myself.
I didn't hear that today. I heard you say nobody let you know. What are you going to do about this when we get music to play? Are you going to let Earl know in the future so he doesn't have to read it?
Yeah, even though I did, but whatever. I put the list next to his hours list. He has his hours list, but doesn't bring his other list. I don't know why.
Read out the list. Fezzy, how you feeling back here?
I'm doing all right. Doing okay for myself, yeah. Feeling good. Groin is still a little uncomfortable, but other than that, feeling good.
That's it for us. We'll be back here tomorrow after Ron and Fez. Coming up next, it's Ron and Fez. Make sure you stay tuned tonight for Ron and Fez. A lot of Ron and Fez on this channel anymore. A little bit too much for my taste. Get ready to hear this song 8 times a day.
parking cars.
Disclaimer coming up at some point today, right? They'll just move it in every hour on the hour?
Yeah, at least once an hour.
Satellite of love.
Feel a little abandoned right now. But hey, don't worry about a thing, Ron. It's all going to work out, and then don't hear from anybody.
I've been told that you've been
that's the end of my show, donk. That's the end of my show, donk.
Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday to Thursday with Harry, Mark, and John. Satellites gone up to the skies. Things like that drive me out of my mind. Watched it for a little while. I love to watch things on TV. Satellite of love. Satellite of love. Satellite of love. Satellite of
Fez W. The Ron and Fez Show.